So I always like to start a show with a nice tagline. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geekiverse show. I'm Josiah Leroy. No, you give it a try.
What's up, everybody? We're the Geekiverse
No,
show.
we'll try again. That was promising. What's up, everybody? I'm Josiah from the Geekiverse. No, you try.
What's up, everybody? I'm Josiah from the Geekiverse.
Son, you're gonna be a good one. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode ever of the Geekiverse Podcast. Long time coming. It's vintage Geekiverse fans will appreciate this. Almost 7 years ago this week, we started recording for the first time. We had a studio. We were doing this in person. Feels a little bit nostalgic, but we wanted to try something new here, really, because we haven't done it in a while, in the form of the Geekiverse Podcast. We had the Geekiverse show. We've got lots of things going on. This is going to be a different format. We've got a new lineup, all the above. Can't wait to get into it. I'm Josiah Leroy. With me today, a bunch of hooligans. To my left, Mr. Tim Talbot. Hey, Tim.
Hello. This is my first time doing a in-person, aside from like the charity stream stuff. So
We did a dadcast. We did one. It was kind of a test run.
I actually never made it anywhere. I think it's still on my laptop somewhere.
That's the lost episode.
It was live though.
Much like dadcast. It's a lost show.
One day, if we have to go digging,
we'll get there.
Yeah.
To his left, Mr. Baba Yaga, John Fick. What's up, John?
I don't like this.
You don't like this?
I don't like this. I'm used to your face in a Discord box.
John is so uncomfortable with me being this close right now.
No, I'm just so used to the cadence of our Discord conversations where it's like, you're going to talk, I'm going to wait for the pause, then I'm going to start talking. We've done plenty of podcasts in person together, you and I, but like we've done way more remotely.
Oh yeah.
Over the last 2.5 years, we've done hundreds of podcasts. We've really put the work in on Discord. So this is not that I don't like it. I'm just kidding. It's just weird. It's so weird.
I think the only way to do it, you have to freeze a few times.
Yeah.
You have to leave for like a good 5 minutes.
I actually thought about recreating one of my inevitable Discord exits. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I may just
walk out of the room for a minute and a half. There we go.
Yeah, that's how you do it.
Joe's frozen. Well, yeah, we'll keep recording here.
He'll be back eventually.
I'm good at filling time when Joe freezes, so don't worry about that.
All right. So that thing about the thing.
Where did I leave off?
Yeah. Feels good to be doing this. This is more of a conversational show, as opposed to. We don't really script our shows, but we've usually got agendas. We've got topics. A lot of times it's news based. Some of this will inevitably fall into that category. But we're going to have some fun with it and just see where it goes, you know? We've got the place where we record our Geekiverse live streams. Eventually, we're going to change this a little bit into an actual studio. But for now, it'll be nice to look back at, the humble beginnings.
Yeah, the only
it's like
reason...
Parvis Magna, as Nathan Drake would say.
He would.
Wait, what game is that?
It's Insomniac's legendary game.
It's not the GameCube?
From the
GameCube
GameCube.
exclusive?
Hang on, I don't remember what game it was, but...
Shit.
No better way to start off a brand new podcast than with inside jokes.
Yep.
No one will get.
You gotta do it.
I assume at this point you've listened or watched other Geekiverse content, but
Yeah,
maybe
fair
you
enough.
haven't.
Fair enough.
But yeah, John, I was just thinking about it. So we did 11 episodes of Star Wars reviewed. We did over 20 of MCU reviewed. We've done close to 30 for Busy Sticks. We had Geeks Got Game before that. We've done countless movie reviews. So we've done a lot in the last 2 years.
Yeah, we've got to be in the hundreds for sure of stuff we've sat down on Discord and recorded together. Yeah.
Did you hit the 100th episode, did you?
100th episode?
In general, something.
It's got we'll celebrate it. Yeah, we'll just celebrate the 100th.
This is the 100th episode.
For all we know.
I didn't know. Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Wow.
So, on the way, Tim was saying that he was picking up Tim Hortons, and I feel like I've had like caffeine overdose today.
It's not a thing. It's not a thing.
No, I didn't think so.
Oh, it can be a thing.
I think I found it. So last night I was like, you know what? I'm staying up late, playing video games because I'm excited. I was jumping into a Plague Tale Innocence,
Nice.
Which should be talked much more about, by the way. And I made coffee at like 9:30. I started it at 10. I was still having it by midnight, which was a really good idea. And then I was ready to call it quits around 1. So all that coffee and not a good idea. Got to sleep around 2, got up super early today, and started with coffee at home, which I never do. What's going on? Coffee at work, and then my lovely assistant manager got me a Red Bull because I looked like I needed it apparently. Had it, and then I got home, and I just kind of looked at Lauren, and I was like, I don't feel right. Like, I imagine this is what some of the Avengers felt like during the snap.
Yeah. I was waiting for the part where you're like, oh yeah, I had coffee at like 10 and I blacked out and I beat A Plague Tale: Innocence. So
I did a speed run of it.
yeah, I woke up, the game's beaten. I'm like, I look on the floor, there's 2 more cups of coffee sitting there.
Never did one in my life. Yeah. I don't even know.
That's the coffee bender you get when you beat the video games.
That was definitely a bender. So Tim said Tim Hortons, and I kind of like started twitching. But beer, that's perfect, right? We've got our handy little friend here, the Xbox fridge.
Xbox mini fridge
It
coming in
is
clutch.
full. It'll be great. We can, take beer out as we go.
Exactly.
I think it'll be at some point, the only Xbox console version I'll ever own.
I mean, I'm not too far off from just, downsizing and only owning that one instead of my Series X.
I've used this fridge more than the Series X this year.
100%. Not even close for me.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
absolutely.
And I've only turned it on 3 times.
Yep.
Now that you have a PC, there's just no reason.
Yeah,
There's no reason.
There really isn't. And again, there's plenty of
They're still making money off you, though.
Well,
so.
no, not anymore. I canceled Game Pass.
Oh, okay.
I canceled Game Pass.
First time I let either Games with Gold or Game Pass Ultimate lapse since 2007, I believe.
Yeah,
it's crazy. I still have Game Pass. I should cancel it. I haven't used it.
That's my thing. It's like, it's nice to have, but like I need to, I have so many subscriptions nowadays. Like I have to be picky and choosy with some of them. And that one's $15 a month if you're not, getting a deal.
And I never check. Like I'll go on Steam and find something new to buy, and I'm buying it. I'm not going.
You already have it.
Should I check Game Pass to see if I have it for free?
That's the thing. So, like, if there's a game that I wanted to play, it was probably a fringe game, meaning, like, I would own it right now if I wanted to play it.
Right.
And there was a lot of games on there that I found appealing. But at this stage of the game, PlayStation 5 is my predominant console. I'm playing a lot of Switch with my daughter, and we've just got our hands on the Steam Deck all in the last 3 or 4 months. So that's it. Unfortunately, the Xbox is kind of an odd system out for me, even though I love it dearly.
Yeah.
I'll always be Team Green, love it. But I'm not playing it right now. So if there's a game that comes out, or if we got a game like a Halo, I would re-up at that point.
for sure. Exactly.
But,
yeah. And that's how I've always used Game Pass, is for like the day and date releases. I don't really go back and play like the back catalog of stuff. It's like, Tunic's on there. Awesome. I don't have to buy it. I'll just, just play it on Game Pass, or, random stuff that comes to Game Pass that way is what I use it for.
This is the last time I used Game Pass.
Tunic. Probably
amazing game if you haven't played it.
A lot of people have that in Game of the Year running, or at least top 5 so far.
Anyone who hasn't played Elden Ring has a different game for Game of the Year, because that's the only game it could be if you played Elden Ring.
Well, give it 2 weeks, my man.
I mean, you got to play the whole game, though. You can't just play half.
Oh, get out of here.
So
That's ridiculous.
Resident Evil 2 nonsense.
I would rather play Resident Evil 4 times, I think.
Yeah. I know this isn't like specifically a video game podcast, and we talked about not even talking about nerdy, geeky stuff, but of course, inevitably it's going to happen. I'm so excited for God of War in 2 weeks, dude. I
can't wait.
It's just hitting me now.
Yeah.
That I've kind of cleared my schedule. Gotham Knights, I'm going to wait on, which kind of breaks my heart. But with all of the talk that is not necessarily a good game.
Yeah.
And maybe even a bad game, but depending on who you ask, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for Black Friday, which is a month away. I'll get it for $30 somewhere. Then I'll play it and be my happy Arkham self. But dude, Ragnarok, I'm ready to go. And the other thing I joked about in our group text was, if I'm not buying Gotham Knights, I could afford that Ragnarok controller, the DualSense.
Which we both bought. We didn't even realize didn't even know if we wanted it. We just clicked buy because it's shiny and it's limited
Gotta
edition.
lock it in.
Yeah.
Costs you nothing. It blocks your credit card with that limit for a few days, and then it's
cancel it if I want to.
Yeah, for sure.
But dude, there's just something different about like hype for a AAA video game that is gonna like just take over your life for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like it gets closer and closer and closer, and I can't stop thinking about it and getting excited about it.
What a bookend year, man. Like, I just have such fond memories of playing through Horizon Forbidden West in February and March, and platinuming that, 100%ing it. All of it was super special to me. It's one of those games that hit me hard, and I feel like, I hope Ragnarok can do the same, because the original 2018 God of War is one of my top 5 favorite games of all time. So this is a long-awaited sequel for me, and if you put the name Ragnarok in anything, I'm like,
oh yeah, man.
What does that mean? What does it mean? So
hopefully the next one is Love and Thunder.
I think
JT would be so happy.
Yeah. Probably Kratos and Thunder, but we'll see what happens. Or Atreus. Atreus and Thunder would be good.
That would work.
But,
Boy and Thunder?
Yeah, just Boy.
Boy and Thunder.
Boy.
Oh, gosh, right over my head on that one.
Threw you a softball.
So, JT's not here. We wish JT were here. Unfortunately, we kind of had some lesser evils to pick when it came to scheduling, and tonight was where it landed. But JT with some hot takes in our group chat today with the New York Yankees. I was catching up on
I don't want to talk
Yeah,
about
I
it.
didn't read it. I didn't get a chance.
What is going on there, John? John, Mr. Yankee here. Wait, what?
You're just going to spring this on me?
Yeah.
The New York Yankees get eliminated from last night, and you want to bring this up on the podcast?
Is it too soon?
It's way too soon.
No, it's
Come
not too
on,
soon.
man.
I was more thinking about JT's opinions.
Yeah,
Don't
those-
fire
they're-
everybody.
JT's opinions about the Yankees are not very unique in terms of Yankees fans. There are so many Yankees fans that are just like, we're the best organization in baseball, and if we're not in the World Series, then we're a failure. So we've been a failure for the last 20 years, basically, because we've only made it once. And I'm just like, they're just a baseball team, man. Like, only one team can win it. They had a great year. They were in the playoffs almost every year. Like, I'm always looking forward to October baseball. They're super successful. I don't need this, this stigma of the best franchise in sports history, and I don't need to demand perfection out of my team like that. Those are expectations others can put on them, but not me.
What a season it was, too, right? Like, it was
That's
so much
great.
fun with the Judge stuff, and like, I'm not even a baseball guy like I used to be, but even that was kind of fun to keep track of.
Absolutely, yeah. To see a historic year like that and see Judge doing just absolutely insane things, yeah. That's the big topic. He's a free agent now. He bet on himself. The Yankees gave him a decently large, some would say, shallow contract offer at the beginning of the year, and he declined it. And he said, "Nope, I'm going to bet on myself. I'm going to make sure I'm healthy. I'm going to go off." And he did that, and
He definitely went off.
He's going to make a lot of money, and hopefully it's the New York Yankees that pay it to him. But we'll
Gotta imagine.
they'll do everything they can. It's just going to be, is another team going to come out of the woodworks and just do something stupid? Is somebody going to give him like a 10-year deal for $40 million a year, like a $400 million
I think
contract?
it's possible.
10 years, he's 30 years old. That like the baseball, the people have learned that that's just not a good idea to give a 30-year-old a 10-year contract in baseball. Like those last 5 to, I don't know, a lot of those years towards the end can just be wasted at a contract like that. You never know when somebody's gonna, especially a guy like Judge. He's huge. He's 6'7". He's 280
nuts.
pounds.
That is insane.
Right. So like when a body like that starts to break down, like what's his value and how long does that last?
He was 30 already. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Now, you can't buy out a contract, or you can buy out a contract, but it's not like...
all guaranteed money. If you want to
It's
buy
like
out a
hockey.
contract, it's a payout. You pay him out.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So the only thing you can do is front load the contract and maybe trade him off at the end, later on. But like you don't want to do that. So I imagine he'll get like an 8-year contract for some buco bucks. He'll probably be the highest paid player per year. I think right now it's Max Scherzer for the New York Mets, if I'm not mistaken. He's making like 40 something
It's crazy.
a year. So I think Judge will want to make sure that his contract nets out also, at that number and go from there.
It's just like...
It's insane how much baseball players make.
It really is.
For the length of time, plus the fact that it's all guaranteed, yeah, it's wild.
Crazy.
Yeah, that revenue is like insane.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh. I always have PTSD. I think many Western New Yorkers do when it comes to free agent talk, just from Breer and Drury way back when.
Yep.
But thankfully those days are over for us. Speaking of which, Sabres, man, they're so much fun right now. 4 out of 5 to start the season. Darlene named NHL First Star of the Week, set a record 5 games in a row to start the season with at least a goal. Bobby Orr hasn't done that. Ray Bourque hasn't done that. Victor Hedman, who's the next closest, hasn't done that. Just they carried over from last season so far, and every night is a night where I'm like, I gotta watch this game.
Yeah, they're fun. They're just beating other teams. Like they just look better, which is like we've gone through these stretches in like November where we've won 10 games in a row and stuff like that. And how many of those games were 1-goal games and how many were overtime, stuff like that. Like we were not the team that we looked like we were. We were at the end of the day with the scoreboard. This team looks good.
They're dominating.
They're looking good, man.
Again, a perfect example. They played Vancouver, who isn't statistically been a good team this year, and you could tell like the Sabres were all
On top of
over them.
Dude, that was what a game that was. Like their home opener, poor Canucks.
Yeah.
Come
Right.
home, having lost their first 5 games. Those fans were jumping on them early. Like,
Yeah.
That's a team that is very close to blowing it up, I think. They have too much talent on paper for this to not go where it should. And we've been there, right? We've had Eichel, O'Reilly, Vander Kane over the years here, and it just didn't work. But they've got the right mix. They seem to have the right coach and the right GM at this point. And it feels really good, man. Like, it's so much fun. Like, our chat might as well be called the Hockeyverse.
Yeah, I
And
know.
how much we talk in there. And
Once a hockey game's on, it's like,
yeah.
Speaking of
blast.
hockey and records,
You're not talking fantasy hockey, are you?
how are you guys doing this year? What are your records?
Tim and I have 2 wins.
yeah.
You-
I have one win.
What combined you have two?
Hey, in my defense, my first week, I've never played fantasy hockey before.
In my defense.
Like a lot of people.
Hang
So I'm
on.
thrown to the wolves.
In my defense, just like the Insomniac situation, okay?
Yeah.
In my defense,
Or the shoe situation.
if Yahoo Fantasy was on the Gamecube, I would have been
Oh
fine.
my god.
Can you imagine?
So, but anyways, I don't know what to do with the first week. Like, none of my players are playing. I have like One of my players does their first game like Wednesday or Thursday, and I'm like, they already have like 80 points on me. Like, well, they have like 50 games. I have 32. I'm like, okay, well.
Oh, so you thought it was just good to give up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I should have just got rid of all my players and just got 4 of them because you're limited to 4 a week.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Just put everyone on IR.
I don't even know.
The next week, top points.
We'll see.
What about this week?
You're
This week I'm
playing me.
gonna beat the shit out of John.
You're already
And
down.
I'm gonna be like, John, take off your goddamn shoes.
What?
Learn something new about Tim every day, folks.
Absolutely.
Tim during the last live stream for Busy Sticks was electric. He without coffee for a week.
I was like the Buffalo Sabres.
You're buzzing.
Electric, buzzing.
No.
Boys are buzzing.
No, Chris. And he had coffee and he was like next level off the charts. And I encourage you to catch that short
a lot of fun.
on YouTube right now if you
No,
haven't forget
do not. Do not. It has nothing to do with.
I can't watch that clip without laughing, and I don't care that I'm laughing at myself. But Lauren, without having much of any context at all, saw that and
You showed your
lost
wife,
it.
man?
Yeah.
Come on.
It's my wife.
Come on. Her opinions about me changed. She didn't show Lindy,
it
did she?
wasn't you. It was when I go.
Dude, that's when I lost it in real time. When you
Honestly,
did that,
though, you all kept such a straight face and it's over. You're like,
I knew what game it was, so I had to keep my composure.
Watching it in hindsight now,
Dude.
not just the but John not being able to get the words out and be like, Joe, where did you get that from?
Yeah.
And then we're in tears because
did you just see the look of like,
Yeah.
completely glazed? Like,
it's
what the
that
fuck?
Tim was so serious and dead set on this being an Insomniac
Gamecube game?
and then a GameCube game, and then past that, John's like, you thought it was an exclusive on GameCube from Insomniac?
It's funny looking back on it, and I said that with a straight face. I legitimately thought like it came out on GameCube.
Oh, it wasn't even that generation.
Hang on.
No, that's how long after I played it.
Well, I don't think we brought this up on the show. What did you play it on?
Steam.
That was the only.
Point.
But I didn't play it until like 7 years after. I played it in like 2020.
Listen, I don't want to justify your answer at all. I just would rather leave it. But did you think it was a timed exclusive? Was that what you were saying?
He has no idea.
They re-released later on. What is Resident Evil 4 on?
Everything.
Yeah. What did it release on? Didn't it only release on GameCube?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think it was a GameCube.
Thank you.
Yes, I remember.
Thank you. It's a GameCube exclusive.
That's Resident Evil 4, not Portal 2.
Well, I thought they
I
came
don't
out around the same
understand
time.
Me either.
They tie in, trust me. They're both made by Insomniac.
The A team was working on Resident Evil 4. The B
Yeah.
team on the other game. Done.
Same release date. I got confused.
Dude, that was a highlight
That's a great
of the
clip.
Geekiverse.
Yeah, with one that we'll never watch again.
Oh, I watch it daily.
It's got what 700 plus views. I'm 690 of them.
Yeah.
Like, I can't stop watching that clip. I think it's hysterical.
It's like I got a stalker.
All right, at least I don't have a foot fetish. You keep telling us to put our shoes on, take
Hey.
them off. Weirdo.
Hey, that's not my fault, okay? I don't have cool ass socks on. I have these lame ass socks.
Never takes ownership. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have cool socks on.
Yeah, I don't. I have.
I
That's
got,
what he says.
you know, the Joy-Cons. What is that? It's an Xbox controller.
No, those
Sorry, I
don't
didn't
exist.
recognize it.
Yeah,
I haven't
Those don't
touched it
exist.
in forever.
Yeah, those are the controllers I use on my computer.
I use my DualSense on my
was
computer.
gonna say-
So do I. At the office, though, I don't have my
DualSense, man.
Yeah.
DualSense there.
What a controller that is, by
It's
the
the
way.
best.
My gosh. John, I think you described it right. You said it was a premium controller.
Yeah, I don't
right?
need that DualSense Edge that's coming out with the back panels and a little bit more heft. Like that's all
don't
I
need
need.
But even if it does, I still see how someone justifies. What is it?
$200.
Well, I think the similar, like the Xbox, is what, like 180.
Yeah, sure.
So like the extra 20. But I feel like the controller is just so much better.
The
Like there's
DualSense.
so much more to the controller
Oh,
to
for
pay, to justify like the extra $20.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like they're kind
But
of
think about like again,
I
what's
haven't
inside
played
the
either.
controller?
yeah, like with the
I see what you're
haptics.
saying.
and-
Yeah, like there's just
yeah.
so much more to the controller.
Right.
So when I was playing,
You got the color. I mean, you got color right in front of you. Bam,
Boom.
yeah.
color,
Color.
purple.
Look at that.
The color purple.
Wow, LEDs, man. I was playing a Plague Tale last night, or starting that, and I think that's right up my alley. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I can't believe I waited.
Is it good? I gotta play it.
Yeah, very.
Did you buy it on Steam or no?
No, it was in the. It was a PS Plus game, so.
Oh, you already
yeah.
owned it, or
Yeah, I had it for. It was like.
that's one thing I've been really bad at is buying.
Redeeming that stuff. It's on Game Pass. Xbox owns the
It's
I'm gonna
everywhere.
cancel my Game Pass.
I thought you didn't do it though yet.
I didn't, but I want
So play
to.
it now.
But I want to play it handheld.
It says it's a.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's my struggle. Everything I'm like, hey, this would be great on my Steam Deck.
I just rebought RE7. I own it on 3 different platforms, but I bought it so I can play it on Steam Deck.
To prove a point.
Yeah. I have it on
PlayStation.
PS Plus. I think it's on Game Pass. I have it on the Epic Game Store. I redeemed it like free at one point.
But you have to say there's just something else playing about like.
Dude,
Well, Resident
just
Evil 7 was
awesome.
an Xbox exclusive, so it makes sense that it was there, right?
Xbox 360.
No, there's a GameCube. Everything's a GameCube exclusive.
It's all
Resident Evil
GameCube.
7, ahead of its time. Unbelievable.
It is.
Way ahead of its time.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, polygons are back then, you know.
Wow, that's cool. So, in playing A Plague Tale, this is the PS5 version, so they up-resed it. They did a little bit of work on it from the 2019 PS4 release. I gotta say, the haptics in the controller, like usually I feel like I've only really felt that focused in first-party games for
interesting.
PlayStation. In most cases.
Okay.
In most cases. Or at least it's more prominent. This one was pretty prominent, and I was like, how about that? Like, it feels good, whether it was the rats rushing by or how you're running up and down a path. Like, all of it actually ended up feeling really, really good. And I was like, oh my gosh.
I just had a good experience comparing that. So I just re-downloaded Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2 Remake, the one that came out a few years ago. It was free with PS Plus.
Yep.
You get the PS4 and PS5 version. What a beautiful thought.
Noble concept.
Who would have thought?
No,
so I had to download the PS4 version
Separate
first.
downloads?
Yeah. Yes. They're
Is
separate.
it like half of a game or a whole game?
No, it's a whole game.
It's crazy.
I had to upload. I had to launch the PS4 version to upload my save, and then go into the PS5 version, like pull it down. It's not like you can't do it within PlayStation. You have to do it in the game itself. So I launched, Tony Hawk, and I can't just launch the game without like just hopping into school and doing some kickflips and stuff like that. So I'm just kicking around the PS4 version, and it's fine, whatever. It looks good. Then I launched the PS5 version, do the same thing, and the haptics were night and day. They did so much. Like every time the wheel hit the ground, like you start to skid a little bit.
That's cool.
It was awesome. It felt like night and day difference, and to have that like perspective right away was awesome.
I think my two games that I noticed them on the most was Astros.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Was
that
amazing.
was built for that.
Yeah.
And then number 2 was Returnal.
Same.
You play it, and it's like you feel like the rain vibrating on your controller.
so
You
good.
can hear it. So here's my issue with the haptic. The haptic feedback is awesome, but the sounds out of the controller, sometimes I'm lost on it because 9 times out of 10 I have my headset on. So like I'll be at my computer, I'll have my PlayStation plugged in, or I'm at my. I just like the surround sound when you have headphones on a lot.
Yeah, same.
So I'm never paying attention to my controller because I can't hear it because the headset's on.
Interesting.
So,
I thought when you had a headset on, they played the audio out of the headset too.
but it just feels different.
Sure.
You know, it just feels different out of the
You're
controller.
missing that. Yeah, you're missing that.
Because then you
That's
feel the
subtle.
sound on your.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. These
It's a
days,
little different.
I don't play too much with a headset these days. I have the sound bar. My wife's usually in the room, so I usually am just letting it go through the sound bar. So I
I remember the last time I played on like a TV.
Yeah, I used to be just like, headset only, just immersion and shut out the world. But now that, I play most of my game in the living room, courts in there, I don't do that.
I feel like if I had a
Got
house,
good
maybe.
soundbar.
It's not even that great of a sound bar. It's just very finely tuned.
It is very, very
Yeah,
good.
it is really nice.
We got together at John's house to watch Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Holy, that thing kicks.
Yeah.
Man, that is good. I'm going to have him tune mine up for sure. I want to talk a little bit. I mean, Halloween's right around the corner. Thought this would be a kind of a good topic to dive into a few things. Like, what are some of your favorite TV shows, specials, movies, games to play this time of year? Like, what comes to mind for you guys? I know we kind of talk about this obviously every year, but I think it's fun and it's a nice conversation for this
Oh,
podcast.
for sure. Halloween is my favorite. October is like not even close my favorite month of the year. And I can't even think of a close second. October is just like, for me, it's playoff baseball. Sabres are back. The Bills are, getting right into the swing of things. I used to be a big basketball fan. That's your sports equinox. There's a day where all four are playing. Like, it's awesome. So
We had a picture in the group text of you like.
yeah, I was
all
watching
your-
3 things. Yeah. So like for that reason, the weather is just absolutely elite. Like fall weather is perfect. Like we were talking, I could be wearing a t-shirt or a hoodie, like whatever you want. You're good to go.
Perfect example. I didn't,
Right now, we've got the window open.
Yeah.
Like last week, recording Busy Sticks, I had the space heater on. Like,
Exactly. Yeah. So fall's crazy with that, but also Halloween. I love scary stuff. I love Halloween. So like I'm all about it. If any fall night, I'm just watching a scary movie. I'm just going on HBO Max, throwing on Halloween, throwing on Jason, anything like that. There's always a scary movie playing in my house when it's Halloween season for sure.
Tim, what about you? Like, I feel like I always have the best of intentions in watching scary movies this time of year, but like can't watch them when the kids are up. And by the time they're in bed, I'm like, I want to play a video game.
Yeah.
So that's where I get to. Like, do you
That's
watch
same.
a lot?
Same. I love watching scary movies. It's always been my thing. And we'll watch them occasionally. It's just so tough to carve out time. And my wife's a scaredy cat now, so... And I'm not going to sit down and watch a scary... I mean, we talked about this. I really wanted to watch that new Black Phone movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my wife won't watch it because, again, it's scary, but there's like a lot of triggering things with kids, and that's her,
that can be dicey.
her thing.
For sure.
Which is fine. But my big thing is like, I love horror games. You know, I mean, if you know me, you know that I love like
Resident
anything,
Evil,
like
Silent
Resident
Hill.
Evil. My big thing with a horror
Ratchet
game.
and Clank.
Yeah,
I know we're just
that is a
talking
horror
about
game.
Tommy.
Portal
You guys-
2.
Yeah, that's for GameCube, right?
No, Wii U.
No shit.
Wee.
But I just love horror games. My big thing with the horror game, I like the games that you're able to shoot your gun in, because if you can't shoot your gun,
Yeah. Oh, dude.
it's just at another level of scary.
That was the first hour and a half of Resident Evil 7
And we
for
talked
me.
about this, like on our last show, like when you play like a Resident Evil, there's like a curve. So the curve starts out at the bottom where you're scared shitless and you're like,
Dude, this is 100% real, and
it's
this is
100%.
exact for me.
You're like, oh shit, like even if you get a gun, it's like a pistol.
Yeah.
And you're like, shit, like I have to be careful. I can't kill this guy coming at me easily with my pistol.
It's dimly lit. There's something that's gonna pop around the corner. You don't really know what the enemy looks like yet. Like those first 2 hours of a
It's
Resident Evil
intense.
game are real intense. And I just finished Village, which maybe we'll talk about on Busy Sticks. But 7. So I played Village. I played Remake 2 and 3. 6 that I don't like to talk about. It's terrible. And I also played 7 earlier this year. And those first few hours of 7, honestly, throughout the game, really for the most part, that is a high-stress game. I struggle.
Yeah.
I'm in the thick of it right now. I started it last night. So I've played the beginning of RE7 a few times. I got like almost halfway through it one time with a buddy of mine, but that was years ago. That was when it came out. Was that 2017 or 2016?
17 or 18, right around there.
Yeah,
Yep.
it must have been 17 because I was still at my parents' house. So it must have been early 2017. And yeah, so I already know some of this stuff, but it's just so intense that it doesn't even matter.
And you were saying playing
Yeah.
on Steam Deck, so the handheld, you
Yes.
think is scarier?
It's
I almost feel like it would be the opposite.
I'm just way less aware of my surroundings when I'm holding that thing. Like I'm more immersed, I think. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't have expected it to be the same either. But I'm playing this thing. The Yankees are on in the background. I've got that muted so I can like pay attention to like a specific thing. And like I'm so hyper aware. Like Courtney says something, I shook. I'm like, oh my god, I'm never like this during scary movies, scary games. Something about having it handheld and like not being aware of what's around me was different.
That's
for
crazy.
sure.
That's curious to me. I'll have to try that out
Yeah.
because like I thought I couldn't get any scarier than playing on the 77.
I don't know if it's
TV in my
like
living room.
proximity to my face and like I don't know because like you know you can see the whole living room at least. I don't know what it is.
I don't know. I feel
what
like
it
playing
is.
with my thing is I feel like, do you have headphones in or no?
I did not know, but the Steam Deck has great speakers.
It does, but I feel like having like surround sound
that
audio, 'cause that's
for
how
sure.
I play. And
Oh, brutal.
like
That for sure
sometimes-
would have made it even worse.
Like
Yeah.
what's the one part in Resident Evil, we won't spoil it, but in Resident Evil 8, where you lose your weapons,
Yeah.
I had headphones on, and I'm like,
Dude, so we talked about
Insane.
that moment without saying it on
yeah.
air and spoiling it. That was so right before I played that section, I was reading an IGN article, the top 10 Resident Evil games, and it mentioned
top scariest or top best.
just best.
What was number one, just out of curiosity?
Two.
The original
No.
or like the remake?
I believe 4 was the original 4. Was
Okay,
number
that's
one.
fair. I'll give it that.
I think 2 remake
I think
might have been
2
2.
remake's my number one, but 4 is pretty close.
I adore 2 remake.
Me too. I loved it.
Haven't played 4, but I will play the remake.
You can't say you like 2 without playing the full game, so
Let it go, Tim.
Oh.
I'm never gonna let it go.
I did play the full game.
Yeah.
I didn't play the side missions.
I didn't
which
play-
is
I
the
didn't play it
second
twice.
perspective.
Listen. This is what we got to do. You have to play as the second character, then come back and give your feedback on it, and then you could be the deciding factor.
That's okay. I'll give it to you right now.
No, you can't. You didn't play it.
Josiah
Joe
played.
Savage.
Joe played Claire, and I played Leon.
But
so
the-
we're good
John
to go.
and I
Listen.
didn't even do it on purpose. We
Listen.
just know.
The person you play through the first time is the same. So even if you play as Leon or Claire, the first time you play
Supposed
it
to spoil it for us, Joe.
is a different story.
It's not. That's.
It's the same.
It's not.
No, listen. The first time.
story.
No, listen. You play with Leon or Claire the first time.
Yeah.
It's the same no matter who you play with.
Yeah. The second time you see the different perspective.
It's a different. Different areas, different bosses. You have to protect people. It's different.
But same story.
No, it's
It's
different.
the same game.
So what I'm hearing you say is it's the same game.
I went.
Serenity now. He says Serenity now. So I don't even know where I was going with my point.
Something about
Tim-
Resident. Oh, the
Tim
list.
derailed
Sorry, I'm trying to
the
drown
list.
myself with beer.
The RE list of scary or best games.
What if right now I just I storm off and throw my shoes at him? So they had the top 10 on IGN. And Resident Evil Village came in 5 or 6, but in the spoiler-free paragraph, I think it's spoiler-free, it mentions this segment as one of the scariest moments in Resident Evil history. And I was like, whoa. I thought I was playing a less scary Resident Evil here. Not that that would stop me either way. But I got to that moment, dude, same thing. So I had headsets on, it was late at night. My 8-month-old was not getting to sleep, so I was able to get her to kind of coax her to sleep, but I had to keep her on my chest to keep her asleep. So I'm sitting there playing like this, like just slightly upright.
Oh, no.
And I'm like in my head being like, be strong mentally, slow your heart rate down. Don't jump. Because if I wake her up, like there's hell to pay for the whole house. So I ended up managing, I think one time I kind of like barely twitched. And she was just like head up. I'm like, shh. And then we got back to it. But that is that's the scariest moment in the game, I think. And at least from my experience, one of the scariest moments for Resident Evil as a franchise.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Did you see my TikTok clip or no?
No.
I posted a clip on TikTok of me playing that part.
No, I did not.
And I'm like,
you gotta send me it.
I'm hiding. I'm like, oh my, like it literally.
You streamed it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane. Well,
it was crazy.
I can't wait till John gets there. John, so if you don't know, Busy Sticks is our all gaming talk show that streams live at twitch.tv as well, twitch.tv/thegeekiverse, also at youtube.com/thegeekiverse. And we had homework, and it was John start Resident Evil 7 before Halloween.
Yes.
And he did it.
Yep.
He got through the debacle over the PS4, PS5.
But not getting on it either.
Nope. I didn't.
He
Bought it
said,
on Steam
screw
Deck.
PlayStation.
Did you buy it on Steam or did you buy it off G2A?
I bought it on Steam because I had a gift card.
Oh, okay.
And it was only like $2 cheaper. It was $10.
Sometimes you find deals, sometimes you don't.
It was $10 on Steam, $8 on G2A, and
So,
I had
hold
a
on.
gift card.
I thought you said you got it on GameCube.
No, I did not. I did not
You're not gonna
do.
get-
Go. Okay. The console's dead.
The console is dead.
Listen, can you, do you like,
Tim, we'll let the GameCube go when you let RE2 second half
fuck, we're gonna
go.
be at this forever.
Hey, I think that's a good deal.
Yeah.
John, good negotiation.
All right, bring the GameCube back. I'm gonna go buy one. Bring it with me.
That's what we're streaming.
Look at this exclusive game.
Got the little
It's
handle.
Portal.
Good luck streaming Portal 2 on that.
Are you playing a horror game right now or no? Are you done? Or Plague Tale?
I'm playing a Plague Tale. I wouldn't say it's horror, but there's definitely elements of it. And
I
it's
think you need to
perfect for this
try
time of
Evil
year.
Within.
So, funny thing, I own it. I mean, it is on Game Pass, which
I think it's on PS Plus too.
It's like $2
has
on
the-
your Steam Deck.
I have it, and I've always thought about playing it, but I was like,
Have you ever
I'm not there.
have you put it on or no?
No, but
It's like a Resident Evil.
So with my love for Resident Evil stemming from Resident Evil 2 remake in the last few years and everything else has followed, I would play that game.
So Evil Within 1 was really good. It's
from
very
one of the
linear.
makers, right? Of
Yeah. Evil Within 1's really good. It's very linear. 2 is phenomenal. It's all open. Like you get in like this little whole area and you can essentially go wherever. Like go into random buildings, go to whatever area you want. And it's awesome. So it's as close to Resident Evil as you're gonna get. I would say that's scarier than Resident Evil.
Oh,
Interesting.
gosh, well, I'm not going to play it now. Why would you tell me this?
It's not as scary as Resident Evil.
You know, I think that'll be my next game. I'll do it. That's
do
good.
it.
Yeah.
It's
so
good.
that I think is on my list. It's so funny, like what a time we live in. Like this week we got news on what the Resident Evil 4 remake's going to look like.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill is coming back with Silent Hill 2
Potentially
remake.
Parasite Eve.
Yes, that
That's
you've been
gonna be happening.
championing that for a long
I
time.
actually called it in Busy Sticks.
You did.
You did.
I said
that
I
was
would
a show
love
and
it,
tell.
and then
Next week.
I could see it, man. Everyone's jumping on that. For me, one of my favorites is Dead Space.
Yeah.
I played the original
that's soon, right?
trilogy,
Too, isn't it?
January. And I mean, the Callisto Protocol, we haven't even talked about.
Which
That's
is-
coming
yeah.
out in December.
That's
like
a spiritual successor, basically, right? That's
Yes.
From the original maker.
Glenn
Yeah.
Schofield, yeah, who's on that Dead Space team. I love Dead Space. There's something about it to me that just hit so hard. And that original game especially was something special in the horror video game realm. So for me, that's a big one. That's a day one release as well as Resident Evil 4. But like, look at all these games coming out right
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah.
it's the golden age of horror games. I feel like it, depending on how these all turn out.
It's the tough part for me is like once Halloween season's over, it's tough for me if I'm thinking. Yes, please, thank you. Wouldn't want to bug you.
There you go.
I'm gonna spill it everywhere.
Don't do it, Tim.
Okay. It's not on the fridge. Not on the fridge.
What's that? GameCube?
It's not like they didn't make a GameCube.
Did you say
fridge.
GameCube?
I'm about to go unplay Resident Evil 2, so I've played neither of them, okay?
Then you can play the whole game. It's perfect.
It's ridiculous.
What was I just talking about? I get distracted.
Halloween season ending, something like
Oh, it's just tough for me when I think of a game, because I've played so many of them. It's tough for me to sit down and think like, what horror game do I want to play? There's just not a lot out there for me ananymore.
Oh, good. Thank you.
So I'm excited for some new ones to come out. And that was actually, so I don't know if we wanted to, I know we were all supposed to bring a question we had for each other on what we'd want. And I think we talked about this. I'll bring like a question for everyone else.
Yeah.
So that kind of tails into my question of, we're in the realm of the remake, I'll call it. There's so many games right now getting remade.
Yeah.
If you had games that are not getting remade right now, if you had to pick one game
Right
now, what would you, number one on your list, if you had to tell someone today, hey, go remake this and they'll do it for you, what is it?
Easily, The Last of Us Part 2.
Again? Already? Shit.
Just kidding.
All right, I respect it.
It had me like for 0.8 of a second, and then I just, for some reason, looked at this beer can like it was talking to me, and I was like, he's full of shit right now.
For Gamecube, right?
Oh, Jesus, Tim.
Yes. So,
I don't know. I have to think about that. It's interesting. Interesting.
I'm trying to think.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go
How's
first.
that?
Yeah, let me think.
So mine is a PS1 game I played that I've
Of course
always...
it's a PS1 game. It's always a PS1 game.
Hey, it's a remake,
It's
okay?
Parasite. Okay, we got it.
No, this is a little different. It's I don't know if anyone's ever played it or heard of it. It's called Brave Fencer Musashi.
You made it up right now.
No, I'm telling you.
You made that up right now.
It is a classic.
Ray Sense of Mufasa. Are you kidding me?
Mufasa.
You just took 3 words and just...
No, I'm
the first
telling
3
you.
that came to mind.
Anyways, it's like an action, like you get summoned into another world as like a samurai, and the whole point of the game is you're helping these people, but there's like day-night cycles, there's like adventure aspects, and the whole point of the game is you have like your own abilities you get, but you have this little sword you can throw at the enemies, and depending on who you hit with the little sword, you inherit their abilities for a short time. So like the whole game was based on that, and it had some of the hardest puzzles I've ever played in it, where you have to like know like north, south, like based on what the villagers say. It's phenomenal. So it's such a good game, and I would love to have it remade. So
All right.
I'll take your word for it. I can't really, pick.
it wasn't for GameCube; it's for PS1. So
Okay, well that's an important distinction. I feel like a lot of the games I would have wanted to have been remade have been remade.
I know,
Right.
for sure.
I'm thinking like a little bit more recent. Like I feel like Star Wars: The Force Unleashed games could really use a nice makeover because that first one was so popular and at the time was lauded as one of the best Star Wars games. We're getting a KOTOR remake. Obviously, that game was beloved. But Force Unleashed reviewed well and sold well. The sequel, not so much. But I would love a ground
Never
up.
played it.
And there's such an appetite, I feel like, for the Star Wars Legends stuff right now.
Yeah.
Outside of the Disney canon, that I feel like that would be a great game. Now, shocker, I'm talking about Star Wars. But Force Unleashed, I feel like, would be a fun one. Give me that in a few years down the line, and
Be good.
and we're talking.
I've got 2 for very different reasons. That's why I'm gonna answer with 2. To me, the number one, like the most obvious for me, is Mario 64.
I was
Okay,
just gonna
that'd
say
be
that
awesome.
actually.
Just give me Mario 64 and the Mario Odyssey engine. Like, come on.
that would be awesome.
I was
Come
actually really
on.
disappointed when it didn't seem clear at first, at least to me, what that release was going to look
3D
like.
All Stars.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I thought we were getting a remake, and it wasn't. And to me, man, I know I'm going to be in trouble for saying this, but I did not play this game growing up. In playing it now for the first time, or I guess in 2020 or 2021 when that dropped,
Yeah.
it's not worth playing to me. I don't know. It just doesn't feel right. And I know.
It's tough.
Is
Yeah.
there a new Mario game coming?
Nothing announced. Yeah, there's nothing on the books.
Nothing on the horizon that's been
Dying
announced.
for it.
All right, give
So-
me Odyssey too, but yeah.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So my second one, in that same vein, were a game that I haven't played, and I would love to play a remastered version to get my my feet wet in the franchise, is Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yes.
I would love
That's up there for me.
I would love like Blue Point to do a Metal Gear
Have you
Solid.
ever played a Metal Gear Solid?
Never.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Played
never-
the Ground Zeroes game, which is
That's the only one you've played?
yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, no missing out.
So
I love
I know.
I know it.
Metal
I know
Gear.
it.
5 has been Phantom Pain has been on my to-do list forever.
Oh,
And I just haven't gotten there yet because I also want to play. I'm thinking about similar games or the creator of this game, and I'm thinking about Death Stranding. But
that was why I was looking forward to that so much, is I love Metal Gear. You know how many times I've beaten Metal Gear?
3?
No, probably. That was like the only game I played on PlayStation for like a year.
It's not that many.
dude, what?
More than 3, okay?
Okay.
Not 1, not 2, 3. Well, okay. Yeah. So
There used to be this thing on the original Metal Gear Solid. It was like a training exercise, and it was literally like this whole thing you would just do like it would be like challenges of not getting caught and like completing the objectives, and it got really hard. It was so much fun.
I would love to, while we're on this topic, also see I know we joked about another Naughty Dog game, but the original Uncharted, I think that would be a fun project to see
For sure.
rebuilt because the adventure and the stories there, those characters are awesome. And if you built it kind of ground up for the PS5, put a $40 or $50 price tag on it, that would be awesome.
Now that was a good joke. Sony putting a $40, $50 price tag on it.
I just wishful thinking.
That was good. That was good.
Sometimes I'm funny.
$70 easy.
Looks aren't everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Uncharted would be a good one. There's another one I'm missing that I can't recall, but maybe like PS2 era. I know some of the Kind of Funny guys have talked about it in the past. I think all the way back to their IGN days. That it escapes me right now. It'll
A big one, another big one for me is like I don't even know if it's worth redoing because it holds up so well. I think, and I think even the art style holds up very well. Is BioShock. I think I would love just an excuse to play to play BioShock again. That's one of my favorite games.
I've only played the first one.
Oh, dude, I mean, it's amazing. I've actually never played BioShock 2. As much as I love BioShock and Infinite, I've never played BioShock 2 for some reason, so that's something I have to get to.
I feel like it's worth a playthrough. Like it's not the best BioShock, of course.
Yeah.
But it's different. It's enough similar to one while also kind of divvying off the path a little bit.
Right.
Just a thought. But
Yeah, no,
that's a good point, man. BioShock 1, what a game to bring back.
Yeah, that'd be a lot
That's
of fun.
Dead Space era. It's right around the same time.
Yeah.
I could see it happening, especially if we want to move into.
Do they have like a complete edition that came out like somewhere?
Yeah. BioShock.
Yeah.
You get it on Steam.
You know, on
What can't you get on your Steam Deck now?
seriously.
Yeah, I have BioShock. I have it. I have. No, actually, maybe I just have Infinite on Steam. I think I have
I think you had the collection on Switch.
I have the collection on Switch. I have it on PlayStation. I have it on Xbox, but I think that one of them was free, and I also have it on Epic Games PC as well.
Oh,
A lot of those were free. A lot of those were
How
really
many have you
good.
played it 3 times?
I've played Infinite probably 5 or 6 times, and I've probably played the original BioShock just twice. That's one of those like I don't like to.
I never played Infinite. I think I started Infinite.
Infinite's one of those ones where when it came out, it was like it blew me away, and like the week that I played it, I would have maybe said it was one of my favorite games ever, and like that stuck with me forever. And then like the more I've replayed it, the more I find kind of holes in it. I'm like, actually, I don't even know if this is as good as the first BioShock.
Yeah.
But it's still a good game.
I think I haven't only played them each twice. I think I probably have them on the same level. But I do see what you're saying on that second visit. Like when it came out, it would have been 2013. It felt like revolutionary almost with how the story
I
went.
think the story twists really carry the game quite a bit.
It did.
And when you know that stuff and you're going through the game, like and I remember this narrative when the game first came out, and I'm just like, what are you guys talking about? This game's so much fun. The story's so good, but the gameplay is it really bogs the game down in between. There's just so much running and shooting, like for hours. It feels like in between these story beats. It's just like, what is going on? Why are there so many enemies? And why is this like, why is this Booker doing who's trying to save this girl just going on like a murderous rampage right now?
What do you think is more important, story or gameplay? For a game, if you were developing a game, what would you?
I don't think you can answer that question because like there's so many different games. You know,
Yeah.
for a platformer, the answer is gameplay. But for for a cinematic game,
You
like
say that, but then you have a game like Owlboy, who maybe the gameplay isn't as strong.
I'm not saying
but
that
the story's so good. I mean, I guess the question is, what would you rather prefer?
So for me, it's always story. I love story. Like for example, I love the Quantic Dream games. Those are not necessarily great gameplay games, but
Right.
Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, even Detroit Become Human, the inevitable Star Wars game. Oh my gosh, I can't wait for that. I'm fine with it just being a good story, and I think all of those are to different degrees good stories. On the flip side, I feel like if you could truly like only have one or the other, a really, really strong game from a gameplay standpoint would keep me coming back, even if the story was not good. And that's saying a lot for me, who has an emphasis on story.
yes,
Yeah.
It's very different. My answer would be story as well. I would just prefer new, fresh stories. But like, those games that I go back to are not the story games. I drop into Fortnite because I like playing Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
I like the gameplay. I boot up Tony Hawk because I like the gameplay. I like it's just there's something about that. Like I can just drop into Mario and just run through a platform and like it's all about the gameplay.
Yeah, we play Mario. I mean, what was the Super Mario Odyssey about? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Peach got
Peach was captured by Bowser, and you got to go get her back.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And then
like
there was
nothing else matters. You're just going through the levels.
for sure,
I love
100%.
So,
Cappy.
Cappy's the MVP.
yeah, I definitely think I'm story, but I have
love
put
story.
down games. I feel like I'm more likely to put down a game because of bad story than I am to put down because of bad
I think
gameplay.
the story will keep me going, actually.
I'd continue if the story was good and the gameplay's iffy. I'd be like, okay, well, I got to see this through.
Right.
Or if the gameplay's just crap,
Like,
I'm just like, okay, well.
have either of you played A Plague Tale?
No, but I do want to.
So I think you definitely both should dive into it. I've played 4 chapters of it so far.
It's like a 10-hour game?
Yes. And I gotta say, the gameplay is very one-dimensional. There's not much that you can do. It's stealth. Like, if you get caught, you're dead. There's no fighting back. That's it. But the story is really good, and it does mesh well with that gameplay because it doesn't have many options or dynamics when it comes to what you can and can't do, but it does it really well. Not like over-the-top AAA. Like someone, I can't remember, one of the reviewers said, this has the heart of an indie title with kind of the makeup of a AAA. And I was like, that's exactly what I see this game as. But if you like story at all, like so far, I'm like, goodness gracious, I cannot wait. This feels like a movie to me. Like I want to sink my time into it. So hoping to finish that before Ragnarok.
Well, the sequel's out now. That's getting incredible reviews.
Mm-hmm. It looks beautiful. Even just watching the trailer after I played, the 4 chapters from the first one, I was like, sign me up.
That's one that you're going to want to re-up Game Pass for because it's only 30 frames per second on the PS5.
Ugh.
Are you kidding me?
Is it on Steam at all or no?
Might be.
I believe it is.
It's
Honestly,
probably,
if you wait long enough and I play A Plague's Tale, you're probably going to have it on Steam.
Probably.
Yeah, I think
Because
it's
I have
on,
zero self-control. So
I think it's on PC Game Pass as well, but that's one where I want to play on the TV, like with the most powerful console or most powerful machine.
Yeah,
like
I want the headset there. I want the whole experience, the immersion.
Yeah.
Just,
I love that. It's just, so for me, having a lot of friends that play first-person shooters with a new Warzone coming out, it's tough for me to, like, let's say it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm getting on my computer, I'll get a Discord call within like 5 minutes. Come play Warzone, come play Fortnite, come play Apex.
Those
it's
days
tough for me to, that's why it's been so nice gaming in the morning is like, no one's on.
Yeah.
So either I'm planning on playing with someone like a shooter or I'm playing whatever the hell I want. So it's been nice.
say you're not available, Tim, and then stream at the same time. People would be so confused.
They would be.
He told me he was busy with his family.
Those
this
days
is my family.
of like online gaming for me are so far gone. Like that used to be like my one touchstone for gaming. Is like I would sit down, I would hop on the mic, and I would just like hang out with friends. I don't do that at all anymore.
I do that all the time.
I don't do it at all. Like it's a rare occurrence where like a couple of buddies would be like, "You want to hop on?" I'm like, "Oh crap, yeah."
Yeah, I have a Discord that
good.
I'm consistently part of. They're all from Long Island.
Yeah.
And they're like always in the Discord, and I'm always hopping. Even if I'm like gaming something by myself, I'm going to bed, I'll hop in like, yo, what's going on? Like, we'll just talk for a few.
Yeah.
Watch like TV shows. It's awesome.
That was the Xbox 360 into the early Xbox One era for me.
Yeah.
That was I had a group of like 12 dudes, and it was always 6 of us in a party chat, like playing Call of Duty, playing Gears of War, stuff like that. Like those were the days for me. I've just like we talk about story versus gameplay. I've really like honed in on these single player games.
I'm like 50-50 right now.
Yeah.
Which I at some points when there's a good shooter out, it's just like Overwatch for a good 2 weeks is like consuming.
Yeah, even when I get into those, I get into it alone, which is why I appreciate multiplayer games that like will just let you drop in and feel like you're still getting better and playing well, but by yourself without a squad.
And maybe too because I'm like I can get so competitive with it. It's like a double-edged sword sometimes. So
yeah, that can be tough to balance. Last thing on the remake thing, that one game came to mind, which may kind of sort of be announced soon for me, would be Crash Bash. So that was like the party Crash.
I remember Crash Bash.
Ooh.
That was right after Team Racing. It's rumored that we're going to get a Wumpa League announcement, which sounds almost similar in theory, with mini games almost like a
Mario Party.
Yeah, maybe Mario Party is the right word for it. Or
Fusion Frenzy.
But I'm curious to see what that is. That's going to be announced at the Game Awards on December 8th.
Yeah, Fusion Frenzy. Yeah, that was a fun game.
Wait, wasn't Gamecube?
It wasn't
It was
GameCube.
not.
Nothing was.
I got the
GameCube.
right console this time.
We're going to break you of this. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be triumphant.
All right, I'm done talking about GameCube. We're
Liar.
done. We're done.
So Halloween stuff too. Like I'm thinking about we talked about a little bit about movies and a lot about games. TV specials are big for me. Like so, I'm a huge sitcom guy. I rest on my laurels. I always go back to what I know.
Yeah.
It's rare for me to jump into a new TV show for whatever reason. TV's comfort food for me. So I love Seinfeld. I love The Office. I've watched them both. Feels like 100 times each all the way through. Like one of the most successful articles we ever had at the Geekiverse.com when we were doing written content. It probably is popping up now. I haven't checked the stats, but I wrote an article ranking the Office Halloween specials.
Yeah.
And it would always pop up top 3 in Google searches for whatever reason when you would search The Office Halloween. And those episodes are some of my favorite ever. Two other ones that come to mind for me. Have you guys ever watched the show Third Rock from the Sun?
Yes.
Just casually when it was on.
He's the dude from Dexter, right?
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow.
I'm just kidding.
So, John Lithgow. I love that show so much. I always felt like that should have gotten more credit than it did, but it did go for like 6 seasons.
Yeah, it was on for a while.
That's a lot, but
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, right?
yeah, young JGL.
That's the dude from Inception, right?
It is.
It is.
That's an appropriate touchstone for JGL. Not a.
What's that other show he was in? Another movie that was pretty popular?
He's in plenty of them.
So
it wasn't prominent.
He's okay.
Fake Robin.
There's a great Halloween special in that first season where because they don't really know what Halloween is and they're trying to figure their way out because they're aliens disguised as humans on Earth. That's awesome.
That was such a good show.
Dick Solomon's the main character. John Lithgow. He's scared to go to the doctor, and that's part of the whole shtick of the show. The other one for me, if I had to name like one ultimate comedy special, it's I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but Boy Meets World.
Oh my god, dude! The Halloween special Boy Meets World is like the best episode.
That was not. I swear that was not on the Disney Channel. Growing
It was
up,
so scary
because it was super intense.
It was so scary.
I want to say the first time I saw it was maybe before Disney Plus. I think it was on Hulu. Or
Dude,
something.
I swear I saw it on Disney Channel. 100% I saw it on Disney Channel.
I'll take your word for it.
I definitely did.
I don't recall. I always used to like record those with VHS.
Oh, I did the same. But I remember watching that as a kid and being like, "This is way too scary. What is going on? I love this, but this is
even now,
insane."
like I would. That's like my annual thing to watch that show. It is everything that Boy Meets World is.
Yeah.
But it is like way up here. Like it is different. It is intense. It's scary.
So a lot of the Boy Meets World cast are getting into like doing podcasts and stuff now. I think Topanga, whoever that actress is, I don't know her actual name. Danielle Fishel and somebody else have their own podcast together, and they unanimously say that was the most fun they ever had on the set was the Halloween episode, the Scream episode they call it. Yeah,
it's so good, man. Like. It's so intense. It's hysterical. I can't like the first time I remember watching it, at least in recent years, was when I thought I discovered this, and I was like, "What is going on? Like this is not for kids."
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's just so weird to me because like when I think of Halloween, I in my head I would have never imagined you going to watching sitcoms.
No.
Oh, so I've got one too. They're very similar. I always go through and I haven't done it yet. I can't wait to do it. Simpsons Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, yeah.
That is a good one.
I'm not someone who's like a big Simpsons fan. Like I watched it as I never really watched it when it was on. I just like bought a couple of the DVDs just to have something to pop in. Like, oh, it's funny, it's the Simpsons or whatever. But Treehouse of Horror, every year I make sure I watch that one. I grab it on whatever streaming service is on. Disney Plus now. I love the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Those are fun.
I'm just not a TV guy.
That's
I
where I'm
literally
at.
don't watch. I do not. Either I watch a movie, I watch children's Baby JJ by Coco Melon. Maybe I'll watch the Coco Melon Halloween episode this year. Yeah. Or I'll watch whatever. With Floor is Lava. That's my TV show. If you haven't had your kid watch it, have you ever watched Floor is Lava?
Okay, Daisy must have seen it. She hasn't watched it with me, but maybe one of the grandparents because we were playing Mario 3D World, and she was pretending that one of like the ridges we were on was lava. She's like,
Oh my
"Daddy, can't get into lava," and I'm just like playing. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "No, it's lava." I'm like, "No, I assure you, it's fine. It's a Goomba." Like
It's a Goomba.
It's just a Goomba.
But I just never in my mind would I've thought oh, it's Halloween. I'm gonna go watch a TV show.
Yeah.
So.
It's just like I don't know. For some reason, it's those few specials. Like I said, it's kind of comfort food for me. I don't really dive into a lot of movies. I like jump scare movies, but even so, I haven't watched one in ages.
Dude,
Yeah.
I watched so many of them. I saw Halloween Ends in theaters last week. It was not good, but that's fine.
I would love to do more of it. I just don't have anyone. John didn't text me like, "Hey, you want to go watch a Halloween movie?" With me?
I watched it by myself. I love watching.
I would have.
myself.
I literally lived 15 minutes.
Well, I didn't go by myself. I did go with a friend. But I
Oh, okay. Now the truth comes out. I was not the friend. It was not me. I was wearing shoes in my house at that moment.
Jay Toronto.
Yeah. Who's JT? I don't understand.
No, I love horror movies. I love Halloween specials. I also really love Christmas specials.
I'm just gonna come here
So,
to here and just watch the movies by myself.
Just come in this room. Joe's like,
yeah.
"What's that sound?" Tim's just there's a projector on the wall. Tim's watching scary movies.
Screaming his ass
She
off.
was just like Jay. Did he go to the bathroom?
Shoes on and everything.
Shoes on. Only his shoes out in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh my god.
Tim, why are you naked?
From the ankles up.
The movie.
Because. Yeah.
But Christmas those are huge for me.
I love Christmas movies.
The Christmas movies, but also comedy specials, like sitcom specials. The Simpsons, sorry, not Simpsons. The Christmas Futurama specials are my absolute favorite. That's my favorite show of all time, Futurama. But they've got really fun Christmas specials.
I've never seen a single episode of Futurama.
Dude,
Futurama's good.
It is my favorite show of all time, and it's like not close.
Remember Adult Swim where Futurama will always be on?
That's where I discovered Futurama.
Yeah, same here.
I didn't watch it back on Fox. That's how I discovered it, and I immediately bought all the DVDs and became like.
Remember that show with like the French fries and the
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yes,
I have all of those as well.
Yes.
Frylock, Meron.
Dude,
I love those shows. I haven't watched them in so long.
I'm so into Christmas specials. It's nice.
I love
I'm
Christmas.
sure we'll talk about
I
that.
mean, you know
next
how we
episode.
all are. Like I'm like December. I'm like buying coffee for the people behind me in Tim Hortons.
Oh, dude, December. Once Thanksgiving
I'm
hits.
like,
Once Thanksgiving
yeah, like
hits,
you're
it
just.
is-
I'm
You
all
guys
in.
are so silly. At work today, I was like 8 days until Christmas carols.
No.
I did say
I
that.
have
was
to get out of
okay.
October because I'm all for it.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
Christmas. I have to get out of October.
Let me ask you guys that. That's probably a good topic. Like, Lauren jokes that I'm Captain Christmas. Like, I'm just all about it. Like, get the Christmas red like blankets out, pajamas. I'm not a pajama guy, but like that's a thing for me. All of it. Big fan. Daisy was watching some show on Netflix. I can't remember what it was today, but it had a Christmas episode, and I'm like, ooh, it's in the air, even though it's 75 degrees in Buffalo. But like, do you guys get upset when Christmas happens too early, so to speak? And I don't know. That means different things.
I
to
don't get upset. I just can't get myself there, and I wish I could.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm same.
I'm not a curmudgeon about it. I'm not like, oh, why are you celebrating Christmas?
Because a lot
It's
of
not-
people are.
I know
On
they are.
Thanksgiving, it wasn't Thanksgiving. I'm good.
Yeah.
But like again, I'm not one of those people, which I hate in society nowadays. That has to rain on someone else's parade.
Yeah, gatekeeping
I don't
Christmas.
give a shit that you like Christmas.
Yeah.
And you want to listen to it. I
No,
don't care
for
that you
sure.
want to listen to Christmas music in your
100%.
house,
If I walk into the mall and Christmas music is out in early November, I'm not gonna be mad
It's
about
just
it.
silly. Like
Oh, yeah.
you know, we joked about it at work today because someone was like, "Let Thanksgiving have its month." I go, "What do you do for Thanksgiving? Like, what do you do to celebrate it minus getting together on Thanksgiving?"
right.
Couldn't give me an answer. It's fine. You know, not a.
Thanksgiving sucks, dude.
No,
Cancel Thanksgiving.
No, that is not
hate it.
No.
Timestamp this.
No, and JT's gonna be here fighting with me. I hate Thanksgiving.
JT
Cancel
loves
it.
food, man. I
He
really
loves
love
Thanksgiving.
food.
Thanksgiving
honestly-
food is not even that good.
Here's the problem with Thanksgiving is that we only have Thanksgiving dinner once a year. Like, why the hell do we have that?
because
like,
it's not that good of
what?
food.
What? No.
If it was,
Not a thing.
then why don't you make it more often?
I was
I
gonna
do.
invite you all to a Friendsgiving, but
do.
I can see that.
I'm coming. I love turkey. Don't tell
Yeah.
me.
Like, what's
Don't
the
do it to me,
Roy
Joe.
family
Don't do it to me.
It's fine. Thanksgiving's fine. Like I would get into Christmas more quickly if
Hey,
Thanksgiving wasn't there.
maybe you have shitty Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know.
I do.
I'm not
I
a part of your
definitely
dinner.
do. For sure.
We find out John's just having pizza, which is
Yeah.
fine.
That was that,
He's the guy who goes to a Chinese
Thanksgiving.
restaurant on Thanksgiving.
That would be the best if I had pizza on Thanksgiving.
I do love Thanksgiving.
Dry-ass
I think
turkey.
I love. You gotta have my turkey, man.
I would.
I make a mean turkey. Let me say.
I do like turkey, but I'm
No,
not
you
like.
can't say that now. You picked a side.
It's fine.
Sit on it.
it's
I'm
just
moving over
fine.
farther.
It's just fine. That's all it is.
I gotta make a list of things that trigger Tim. You know, like no floss
fuck
at a
with
movie
Thanksgiving.
theater.
I know.
played Resident Evil 2
I'm
twice.
in the minority. People hate this take.
Honestly,
but
though-
But I don't care. This is exactly the point.
Oh, I care.
Okay.
Tim
So
cares.
Tim is all the curmudgeons out there. So like, I don't give a crap that John doesn't like Thanksgiving.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
More of all that feast that we don't have year round for me.
More food for me.
More dry turkey for me, if you
Yeah.
will. But like with me for Christmas, like I usually try in my head to put it off as far as I can. Like I'm of two minds. Some years I try to put it off as far as I can because I'm like, oh, it's going to be that
It's
much more
special.
special when it hits, whether it's November 15th, the day after Thanksgiving, December 1st, whatever you get to. But some years I'm like,
I can't hold it
it's
back.
first week in November. I don't care. Let's celebrate this as long as we can. I don't care. I'm gonna listen to Christmas music. Like I don't care what you do, but like I find it funny when people get upset because
It's very
the
frustrating.
same people that are getting mad about Christmas too early are the people that get stoked when they see pumpkin spice latte in August.
Right.
Like it's the same thing.
I'm
It's
both.
fine.
I'm both of those people.
Yeah,
I am both. Literally August 1st, I'm like, all right, it's fall. I'm done.
That-
I'm done with summer.
But here's my thing with
all our
Thanksgiving.
birthdays, John.
Yeah. Here's my thing with Thanksgiving, though. When I think of Thanksgiving, I think of a day. I don't think of a month. I don't think of
I don't
like
know.
a
Yeah, I
week.
don't give a
Sure.
month.
I think of like
week.
Thanksgiving is a single day of
Yeah.
the year that I eat the shit out of whatever I'm eating, and I feel horrible, and then I wake up after my nap and I eat more,
What's a nap? Oh
and then I go back to bed and I wake up and I eat all this delicious like pumpkin pie with whipped cream.
Pumpkin pie sucks. I'm doing this dad thing wrong.
Oh,
though.
Yeah,
No, pumpkin pie. I'm sorry. Another person brought that up today. It's not good. Sorry. You wouldn't eat a pumpkin. Like it's ridiculous.
Oh, I would eat. I would eat.
John would eat a pumpkin. Okay, there's a pumpkin
All right.
downstairs right
guys,
now.
I just gotta.
In
Do
the
you like
corner.
pumpkin? You like pumpkin pie?
I love pumpkin everything.
Oh, he's back. He's
I
back.
like pumpkin.
You know what? You're
beer.
out. You're gone.
I was drinking pumpkin whiskey last night.
Ooh.
Watching the Yankees
You're
lose.
gone. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I love. And Joe's left the Discord call.
Yeah. It was only a matter of time before we
Yeah.
left for some.
No, again, it's not for everybody, but yeah, once like mid-August hits and Starbucks starts getting the pumpkin spice and all the other coffee shops start getting their pumpkin syrups in, I'm all over it.
You would eat that pumpkin pie with just an overwhelming amount of whipped cream.
See, then you hate pumpkin pie and you like whipped cream.
No, I would eat the pumpkin pie by itself, but it's just that much better with that much
I'll give
whipped
this
cream.
to you. Any pie that I have, like even apple pie, which I love.
Apple pie is like,
I love.
It's the best.
like
What?
D tier.
You're Canadian.
What?
Yeah.
Apple pie is D tier? There's been a lot of things said on this podcast. That is the most absurd
truth.
thing.
I feel my
It's
heart
the
up here
truth.
right now.
That is
mister.
the most
the truth.
absurd thing I've heard
Nope, it's the truth.
all
Why?
week.
What's good about apple pie?
The apple, the glaze, the crust, everything.
The apple.
Okay,
That's fine.
what other pie doesn't have a glaze and a crust?
The apple is what makes it.
The apple is an apple. I can go bite an apple and cut it and put peanut butter on it, which is so much better.
It's
You can go
soft.
bite a pumpkin, but you don't do that.
yeah, because
know?
the pumpkin is cooked, it's pureed,
Dude,
it's mixed into the pie.
Apple pie.
Dude, apple pie is #1 with a bullet. in terms of pies.
John is right.
With
Tips
a
back out.
no.
We're
Yeah.
back to square
No.
one here.
Square one.
No.
Oh my.
I can't even think of a close second. Pies. I like pie. There's nothing close.
Pumpkin pie is #1.
No, it's not.
If I were to ever think about ordering or buying a pie, like it's apple and nothing else comes to mind.
That's
Would
it.
you consider like a cheesecake a version of like a pie?
no. That's
So
its own
what?
thing.
When you're thinking of pies, what pies are you thinking of?
I'm thinking
Cherry-
cherry pie.
Garbage.
I love cherry pie. Oh my god, you like cherry pie?
All right, keep going.
Do you like
John,
fruit?
Maybe I don't like pie. I don't
I'm
know.
gonna take that lapel off you. So, I could have said anything.
let's
there,
go
you would have
through
said garbage.
Let's go through pies. Let's go through
Okay,
pies.
let's
What
do it.
pies
Let's
are-
do it.
Apple pie is #1.
I'll eat apple pie. I
like cherry pie.
enjoy an apple pie, but it's low for me.
I
Like
love cherry
if someone
pie.
said, "Oh, bring a dessert," I wouldn't be like, "Oh, bring an apple
This
pie."
guy's backtracking right now.
Yeah, I
so
know.
this- we're
No, it's
flipping
D
so much.
tier. Again, I was thinking.
D tier.
What? Okay.
What's your A
listen,
tier?
Before we rank the rest of the pies,
Let me give you my scale.
What would you equate apple pie to, like movie or game wise? Like,
It would be like when I'm thinking of D tier, I'm thinking like the dessert scale. Like if I just finished my dinner and I sit down at the table and says, "What would you like for dessert?"
Okay.
I'm not going to sit there and say, "I would like an apple pie, please."
That's
I
on
would like
top of my list.
your apple pie.
Slugs.
Yeah.
Give me a piece of pumpkin pie. Give me a piece of cheesecake. Give me a piece of slush cake. Okay, well listen, I'll rank it on the pie scale.
Okay.
let's
Okay,
talk about
that's fair,
pies.
right?
Yeah, of course. That's the only way to rank pies.
Okay, so apple pie right now, out of all the ones we talked about, that's #1 on my apple, like my pie scale.
Are we cutting this out as a segment for pies ranked?
Yes.
Or pie,
Yeah,
no,
I'm about
pies
to rank.
reviewed?
I'm ranking the pies right now.
Oh,
Give me the list.
It's wrong.
Currently, the list is on the screen.
It's one and done. It's apple pie. That's it.
Then what other pies are there?
I would go
Cherry.
cherry too. I would go cherry
Cherry's
too.
fine.
I don't like
it's
cherry.
not the same level as apple for
It's
me.
not the same
Is
level.
strawberry
It's
pie a
not-
thing?
Not really. Strawberry
Okay.
rhubarb, that's disgusting.
Strawberry cheesecake, that's up
no,
there
that's
for me.
not a pie.
No, but I'm saying my dessert scale.
You're not. You can't just have the difference. Now we're just talking food. Okay.
Okay, let's
I
set
like
that aside.
Cheeseburgers first. Apple pie second. Come on. Stick.
Okay,
Pie turns last.
okay, pie scale. Apple pie is #1.
Blueberry 2 for me. Lemon meringue 3.
I put
Oh, lemon meringue. I forgot. Yeah.
I love.
I put lemon meringue above cherry. So right now cherry's 4th. Apple pie is
You're not
#1.
hurting me. You're hurting me by telling me apple pie is D tier.
Listen, on the pie scale right now, as of right now on the pie scale, it's #1.
So how is it D tier?
I was
How'd
saying
you get
dessert
there?
scale. Dessert scale. It's a
Okay.
different scale. Different metric.
So we're getting meta here because you're ranking pies, but you're also ranking pies as a lower
Within
item
desserts.
on the dessert
Yeah, I was
totem pole.
Listen, I'm
is
putting my
also
pie in the
terrible.
dessert scale.
Yeah.
I'll just do the pie scale.
Okay. Pie
Out of
scale.
all the pies, apple
hate
pie is
math.
probably my favorite.
I like a chocolate
I
pie.
just don't like pie.
Peanut butter pie?
we just bumped apple pie down
So-
one.
Peanut
No.
butter pie.
Chocolate pie.
Chocolate and peanut butter pie, I would say
They're
would
good.
be
I would
second.
take
third.
peanut butter pie 3rd below apple
Okay.
because I'm not a big like I would never go to get like a scoop of peanut butter and eat it. Like that's why I feel like when you get peanut butter pie,
What logic? This
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
I would eat peanut
So-
butter out of the jar right now.
you would.
Yeah.
Oh, I
So
wouldn't.
apple pie.
When
for
you make your
example.
peanut butter jelly sandwich, how much peanut butter did you put?
A lot.
See, I would do like a layer, equal peanut
good-
butter,
a good
equal
amount.
jelly.
See, why don't you just have a bread and jelly, you freak?
Hey, I love bread. Sorry.
I love bread. I don't know.
Hey, you go to a restaurant and there's like a pile of bread in front of you.
That's different.
That
Oh,
takes
yeah.
the most self-control not to eat that entire loaf.
Yes.
Hang on. Back to apple pie real quick because I want to talk
what
about
other pies
this.
are there?
No, hang on.
We'll get
Let me
there.
this out. So apple pie is fine on its own. It's fine if you have it warm with vanilla ice cream.
Oh.
It's right. Like, my gosh. Also, like you with pumpkin, you said you just like trounce it in whipped cream. Like we joke that we buy 2 tubs of whipped cream.
Wait, tub? Cool Whip?
Yes.
That's not.
I was gonna say, do you use Cool Whip?
He uses Cool Whip. We just busted him.
You can have Cool Whip or spray can.
Got it.
Either are fine. And I get my own because I like whipped cream that much or Cool Whip. Whatever you put.
They're very different. I wouldn't do Cool Whip in a pie.
Yeah.
I would do both.
I mean, like,
Bar none.
I wouldn't decline a slice of pie if you gave it to me with Cool Whip on it. I just wouldn't buy that.
You definitely want a spray can first.
Yeah,
Homemade
That's
whipped
nice.
cream is the best, though.
Homemade whipped cream is great.
But guys,
It's great.
like I have it like a mountain, so that I don't even know pie is in there.
That's
You probably
crazy.
put that in your apple pie. Then you forget you're eating apple
That's
pie
what I'm
because you have so
saying.
much whipped cream.
No, it's a nice surprise when I get to
I-
the end of it. I'm like, wow, the best part was the end. That's crazy.
See, I prefer the ice cream. The vanilla ice cream
That's
scoop
classic.
on an apple. Oh,
Do you
dude.
heat it up or do you leave it cold? Like
Heat
room
it up.
temperature?
You gotta heat it up
Heat it
because
up.
the ice cream gets melty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some apple pie right now. I
Oh.
don't have any.
Yeah,
I'm gonna find
I'm
some.
gonna bring it
I'm in
next
the
time I
country.
come
Someone's gotta have a stand somewhere.
So let's fast forward. This same time next
Okay.
Whatever.
episode, I will have apple pie here.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Thank you.
Why are you gonna bring a D-tier dessert?
Then I'm gonna bring a garbage and just throw it in there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a bizarre take that you let off there with apple pie being D-tier. I don't know what that was.
So
all
right now on the
about.
pie tier, it's third. We have pumpkin pie,
Not-
chocolate pie, apple pie.
I'm more of a. I would put all fruit pies ahead of any kind of like chocolate or
It's not a big
Peanut
like
butter
fruit
pie's good
pie.
though, man.
peanut butter's great.
said that?
Better than apple?
My mother-in-law makes the best peanut
Is
butter
it better
pie.
than apple?
No, apple's elite. Apple
Number one.
is Connor McDavid.
So when
It's a
I
classic
was
toe.
just dating with my wife and we weren't living together, we were both still at home.
She likes apple pie.
Her mom makes the best peanut butter pie I've ever experienced.
John,
And this was I just,
seems like the hell she does.
that's right. And
I'm not gonna be friends with her anymore.
we were
Whoa, shit!
at this point we were like 3 to 5 years into dating, so like I was aware of this peanut butter pie, but I couldn't make Thanksgiving that year. So like my mother-in-law saved me some peanut butter pie. I take it home, put it in the fridge, gonna eat it the next day. I will never forgive my brother for eating that peanut butter pie. I think about it all the time. That peanut butter pie was devoured by my brother that night. I think about that like monthly.
Every time he gets a peanut butter pie, a single
Dude.
tear runs down his face.
I see my brother probably like twice a month, sometimes more. I look at it, I always think about the pie.
The first thing he does,
always
like, looks
think
in
about it.
disgust. Ugh.
I lost
This is
so
Shannon,
much.
his brother.
I lost so much respect for him when he ate my peanut butter pie.
Oh my
He didn't know, like he thought it was like my mom just like left some pie in there or whatever, but like that was a big deal.
Honestly, that's probably the worst feeling in the world is when you like put something in the fridge or the
You're
freezer.
looking forward to
and you're
it,
looking forward to
dude.
it,
Oh
and then you
my
go to get it,
God.
and it's gone.
That's
that
like
happened with me with pizza rolls the other day.
Oh.
So yesterday I was like, I could go for some pizza rolls, and Lauren's like,
When you're on your coffee bender.
no, before I blacked out from my ridiculous coffee bender, but before I wanted a snack, and Lauren was like, I took him to work. And,
Oh no!
that's like I support that. She's trying to save money. We're trying not to eat out, and she just took it to work, and I still got mad.
yeah, of course.
I was like, she's like, you said don't order out as much. I'm like, but I didn't realize it would affect me.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
I didn't want you to order out as much. I want to eat my pizza rolls.
What about pizza rolls?
Oh
I
man.
was gonna have them while I played video games, because I'm 10.
Well, if you like apple pie and you're watching this, please don't kill me.
Everybody likes apple pie. There's
That's
nobody
why
who
it's
doesn't
weird.
like apple pie.
Everyone likes
We'll
it.
find out. We'll find out.
No, I'm telling you, everyone does.
Put a poll out.
we
right?
already-
I'm as sure.
All right, I think we got a Geekiverse poll going.
I'm as sure that everyone, or 95% of people like apple pie, because apparently there's anomalies, as I am that I've seen both Resident Evil 2 and
All right, hold on. I have the poll right here. 26-14. Oh wait, no, that's the fantasy hockey score for the week. That's my bad.
I'm winning 26.
No, I'm up 26.
How many games we got going? How many games we got?
My bad. I thought that was
So,
the apple
John-
pie poll. That was.
Give me my phone.
That was
So John's fantasy hockey name is Sinister Six.
Sinister Six.
I can't talk. Sinister Six.
Yes. No, sticks.
But like
Sucks?
Sinister
What?
Six.
Oh, right.
It took me a solid year at least, if not 2, into our fantasy league. This is 3 or 4 that I've been with you now.
Yeah, this is your 4th year, I think.
Okay, so 2 years it took me until I realized why that was cool.
I can't believe that.
I know.
That's
I know.
disappointing.
So right over my head. And I also thought the Sinister Sucks joke was kind of funny.
That was good. I was
good.
working and that was very good. I laughed out loud.
I was just like, oh, we're all going to just glaze over
No, I
this.
laughed out loud.
It's not often that
I was busy.
I go back to my own ill-timed jokes, but that one I was...
It was almost as good as
Sinister
my
sucks.
Portal debacle.
That one was.
Nothing will beat that.
That will live in infamy.
Nothing. Man, we've all got our shticks here, Like
Yeah.
you live in some crazy alternate reality where that's a thing. I take credit for ideas for other
Yeah.
people. JT has wildly bad movie takes.
I'm just normal.
John is the normal one, everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I will say? I miss having a mute button. Every time I sniffle, I feel self-conscious about it. I miss my Discord mute button,
Yeah.
so I can just do a little sniffle.
Hang on.
Yeah, Joe, mute me.
Man, I can't believe that just went into like pie. Like that's.
They got a 10.
I'm so ready for Thanksgiving now. I thought this was
Can we
going to
please
be
do a
more
poll?
Halloween things. Yeah, we can do a poll.
There's no poll to be
You know what? I
had.
don't know that I want to do it
Do
because
the
I'm,
top 4 pies: pumpkin, chocolate.
I don't agree that pumpkin's a top 4 pie, though.
I'm not saying it's top 4.
really,
Just
and
put
you
it in
love
there.
pumpkins.
I love pumpkin, yeah. I just love fruit pies. Yeah, I would go top.
What 4 pies would you put if you had to vote?
I would go apple.
We each pick. You
A
pick
pie?
2. I'll pick 1.
Joe gets one. I
You get 1 because you're not a pie connoisseur. You just like apple with shit ton of whipped cream.
I'm not a pie connoisseur.
No.
All right, get out of here.
I picked my pumpkin pie to be in the poll.
Apple will run away with it.
Okay, what do you think?
See,
I do think there's a chance
I've lost a
pumpkin
little
is
bit of
close.
faith in humanity because we had a similar poll
Oh,
like
the
this
black-
at work. Hang on.
Oh,
All right,
okay.
I'm going to drop something on you. I don't even... I'm going to mentally be okay with the fact that I might not be friends after tonight with you guys. But cookie cake. Thoughts on cookie cake?
Love it. What's
It's
not to
okay.
like about it? Yeah, it's
It
great.
doesn't taste the same as normal cookies.
People at work avidly dislike it.
What is there
And
to
I think it's-
dislike about
I
it?
think it's the most effed up thing I've ever heard in
I
my
think
life.
so. Here's
People,
the issue.
you love chocolate chip cookies, right?
Yeah.
You make it into a cake, which is a soft chocolate chip
Right.
cookie
Listen.
in most cases, and then you add frosting to it. If you don't like frosting, scoop it off. Otherwise,
And it
you're
comes-
making
and it-
something better.
It comes off so cleanly.
Yeah.
Listen. Here's the thing with cookie cake, though. Us being in our business, we've had a lot of cookie cake. A good cookie cake.
In our business.
You have a birthday and they're like, cookie cake. It's a thing.
Yoda just showed up with a cookie cake. Cookie cake, you
Cookie cake for you. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, you're right.
I get it, yeah.
But
Okay.
I,
It's an
I
easy
find
cake.
it funny that people don't like it.
Listen,
Me too.
but here's the issue. You can get a bad cookie cake.
How?
It's like
is it-
mush.
if
It's not
it's
cooked.
old?
If it's not cooked, it's like
I
mush.
don't think I've ever run into that.
Yeah, me either.
Oh my god,
I've run into soft.
I've had soft bad cookie cakes and they're not good. It's like
See,
mush and frosting.
I
It's
always
not good.
like
A good cookie cake, like crispy, like you bite into it, it's delicious.
I mean, I need a balance there. I need it to be
I
somewhat,
like it
somewhat
on
soft.
the softer side.
Me
I
too.
don't know that I've had what you're describing, so maybe.
But it's a normal cookie, not like a.
So you, Tim.
I like cookie
you,
cake.
You will bring apple pie and a Wegmans cookie cake next.
Yes,
episode.
Wegmans cookie cake is
Wegmans is
elite.
great. That's where I
And I
usually
like
get it from.
cookie cake.
So
I
when
love
people
cookies.
say they're mad at it, I'm like, what? You're making a chocolate chip cookie better.
You say your
And
birthday.
bigger.
Can I swear on the show still? I've been swearing the whole time.
I have so much beefing out to do. It's not even funny, folks.
Nah.
It's gonna be crazy.
Let it roll.
I think the beeps are funny, especially with Tim getting
I'll do it
so
again.
heated.
There's a lot of beef.
editing nightmare for me. This is gonna take me. By
What other words should I
Thanksgiving
use?
to
What other
edit.
curse words could we add here?
Just say something really terrible.
Not doing it.
Just beep out this whole segment for fun.
It's not fun at all. It doesn't sound fun. I'm not gonna do it. I feel like I had another direction before we got derailed with the cookie cake, but like I wanted to bring that up because I was like, I'm not crazy, right? Like that's
No,
a crazy
cookie
thing
cake is
to,
good.
to dislike it. I
Good
don't care if you
cookie
don't
cake
love
is
it.
delicious.
but,
Frosting, no frosting, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I like.
Choose
cookie
your own
cake.
adventure. Take the
An
frosting off.
alarming
leave it
amount of
on.
people that I know don't like frosting.
I don't understand not liking frosting. I understand not liking too much frosting. I'm like that.
So
What about-
balance.
What
right?
about the common holiday thing like fruitcake?
I've never had fruitcake.
It's not. I mean, I don't think it's good.
I don't like it.
No,
I've only tried it
because
here
the
or there.
stigma is that it's terrible.
Yeah.
The best thing is those. What are those holiday things called? With like the filling.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They're like they come in like a circle.
Oh, the logs, like Yule logs.
Yeah, and you like cut them like they give you like a little cutter, and they're like
Yeah.
apple filled.
Yeah, I think it was like the Yule log.
Oh, those
things,
are
right?
so good. They're like gingerbread, apple.
Maybe we're not talking about the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Sounds
I'm.
foreign to
I don't
me.
know
So
if I'm
Tim's
familiar.
gonna bring just
Yeah.
a board of desserts for next episode.
I gotta go back. I'm gonna have to bring my make sure I take my truck.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fill that bed up.
Hey, I need some help. I got some stuff in the trunk.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing better for an audio podcast than
Yeah.
eating on the podcast.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It's
People
gonna be
love
great.
that.
That's me on eating ASMR stream.
ASMR, yeah.
I'm gonna say the obvious. There's nothing worse. If someone is on the phone with me
Oh,
and they're
yeah.
eating,
Dude,
I'm
it's
like,
terrible.
call me back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Tim's gonna call me tomorrow. I know it. I see it. I see it.
Yep.
Oh, I'm eating this apple.
In the
I hate
worst in this world we're in now with Zoom calls, people will do that like and not turn their camera off. I'm like, I know that we have a 1 o'clock meeting, but like you should have figured that out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
That's-
don't do it. Like
Yeah.
etiquette is clear by
Yeah.
now.
For sure.
Kind of shifting gears here. Something I wanted to mention. Did you guys hear the new Blink-182 song?
I have not. I didn't know there was a new Blink-182.
Yeah, there is a new Blink-182 song. It's called Edging.
Tom is back.
Tom DeLonge is back. I'm so excited for that. I'm so excited for the album. I don't like the song. I don't really like it at all. I've tried.
I have not heard it.
I've tried
It's
it.
stuck in my head constantly, and I like it.
I heard it the first time, and I'm like, okay, this is fun. I get it. The more I hear it, the more I've like settled on the fact that I don't really like it.
So Lauren listened to it. It's a big Blink-182 fan just throughout the years.
Same here.
And
Like,
I like Tom stuff, but I really love Matt stuff, which has been great.
Yeah,
It's kind of taboo, but
been pretty
California is my favorite Blink-182 album. Which
Of all
is saying
time?
a lot, all time.
I love California, but I wouldn't go that. I wouldn't go that far.
California Deluxe is like
So good.
beautiful.
I like a lot of 9 too. Nine's. That's
I love
the new
Blink-182.
Tim.
Peak California.
Tim 182 over here. I do
love
like the
Blink.
song. I feel like, so our buddy Trevor Worth said, he feels it's exactly where Blink needs to be in pop punk in 2022.
I totally disagree.
See, I agree
I
with
haven't heard it, so I
Trevor.
can't say.
And I really like the song the more I listened to it. I didn't dislike it. But what's funny is like Lauren heard it and was like, is that Tom? Because my biggest gripe with Tom coming back the last time was that I felt like he couldn't keep up. And, you know, it's no disrespect to him, but like he was on just a different airwave, if you will. And he just didn't. Yeah, thank you. He didn't get there for me. And I didn't think the songs were as passionate and well constructed.
I had the same criticism when Tom came back and they put out Neighborhoods. I didn't like Neighborhoods back then. But as these rumors have come out with Tom coming back, I've started to listen to a little bit of Angels Airwaves to get ready for it. And I went back and listened to Neighborhoods, and I actually kind of like it a lot now.
Dude, so
it has aged very well for me.
I've turned the corner on Neighborhoods, and also Dogs Eating Dogs.
Right. So, yes, for sure.
EP.
Same here. But Neighborhoods specifically for me, I've been listening to a lot to get ready for Tom coming back. And, like, that's the headset I was in. Tom kind of bringing that Angels and Airwaves vibe over to Blink, which is what Neighborhood, like, that's what that album was.
Yeah.
That was Tom in control. Like, that was, like, I called that an Angels and Airwaves album back then, right? Plenty of Blink in there for sure. Like, it's a Blink album in a lot of ways too. But that's where my head's been at. And to hear Edging come out, I'm like, ooh, not what I expected. I didn't think they were going to go.
Yeah.
It's very,
We'll
it's
put it
very,
on after this.
it's very juvenile Blink-182. It is,
sure.
it's like out of the state vibe. For sure.
Heads up, Star Wars game.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we'll just all sorts of fun stuff. But I'm still very excited for the album. It's not like to the point where like if the song's out, I'm going to turn it off. It just has not grown on me. I was hoping I would like it as it went on, and it's gone the other way.
I liked. I really liked the music video. I like the fun that seems to be here because I felt like Neighborhoods and Dogs Eating Dogs didn't have like a lot of that.
Yeah.
That fun.
Oh, for sure.
Simply, it was just kind of. Almost obligatory. It was a good follow-up to the self-titled album because it felt like a natural progression,
Sure.
even if I don't like that direction. But loved California. I even loved 9. I thought that was a good album too.
That was fun.
I feel like this kind of makes sense, but I'm curious to see where they go. I think Travis Barker's just like maybe the greatest drummer of all time. I know
Dude
that's
is just
saying
like-
a lot. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's on everything.
Yeah.
The amount of money he makes just featuring and producing stuff is like absolutely
Yes.
insane.
Yeah, he is incredible at what he does. If you ever get the chance to see them live, go do it. But I would definitely love to dig more into Blink stuff. Maybe we'll have Trevor on at some point.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
to talk about that.
I love Blink. That was my highlight of my middle school, high school, is just waking up in the morning and watching VH1, MTV,
Oh, yeah.
music videos all
Yeah.
morning while you're getting ready for school.
Blink has been a constant in my
So-
life since I was like in middle school for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've
man,
always
I was obsessed with music back. I do less of it now just because I'm so big on audiobooks, but
Yeah.
I'm very much the same way with music that I am with sitcoms, where it's comforting, where I go back and listen to the same stuff
Yeah.
over
Dude,
and over and
same
over
here.
again. Like it is hard for me to expand my horizons.
When I
And-
find a new band, they just get added to that list of like
Yeah.
stuff that I just keep listening to over and over again. Like, my playlist is like 07 Mayday Parade still. Like, I have
Dude,
so much
same.
of that. Like,
I'm 4 years strong. We're
Yeah.
seeing them in a few weeks, which is
yeah,
great.
it's really cool.
It's Forever the Sickest Kids back in the day for me. Like all that stuff, it's always the same.
I'm heavy at the gym. I go heavy, like
I can see that.
Under Oath,
To Under Oath, I had
Under Oath.
yeah,
Bring Me the Horizon, like old
Yeah.
school.
for
Like
sure.
it just, that's my
I will
sweet
say
spot.
one of the bands that I found recently that is like becoming one of my favorite bands is Hot Mulligan. So you should check them out if you haven't. They're awesome. Big
I have
fan.
not.
They're up there for me right now.
So talking also about our friend Trevor, it became a thing over the summer where I was like, dude, I need new music. And he would send me a new band or album or EP every Friday. So on my drive home from work, that's what I would listen to. It was super awesome. And like Trevor and I were in a band together. So like I talked about this with Lauren. I was like seeing like Tom back with Blink-182. It's always like an ex-girlfriend. Like it's how it goes. But they seem like so happy in this music video. And I kind of looked at Lauren. I was like, who could you see me doing this with if I was just like, screw it, I'm playing music again. And she mentioned one of the guys from Letter Set, which was kind of my most prominent band back when I played drums. And she just nailed it right on. I'm like, holy crap, it's like you know me. She does. Lauren's been with me forever. But I thought that was really an interesting concept. Anyway, Trevor has been nailing it with these releases for me. So State Champs, he kind of... I know they're huge, right? Some of these bands are huge, but he introduced me to them. Waster, which is another
Waster's
band.
good, yeah.
Oh my gosh, listen to that on the way home.
Can I get like a notification every time he sends a new band?
Yes.
Can I get like a group text going? Because I would like some new cards.
Yes.
Oh my god, a pop punk group text would be great.
Dude, he would be all about it.
Because if I'm not listening to audiobooks, I'm like, what do I listen to? Like I don't know where to go on Spotify anymore. I'm
now
just
we're
like
holding up on the swearing. Got it. So Trevor he kind of like where I was going with that whole like relationship thing was like he understands, I think, very well what I like. We get each other when you're in a band together, especially the one that we were in. It was very special. So he gets that, and he's speaking to kind of like what I'm looking for. A lot of like how we do that with video games. Like I'm like, oh, I know John would like this game, or you with Owl Boy. For me, you just kind of get it. Like that's also underrated and fun, but that's what makes what we do extra fun, I think.
For sure.
agreed.
So I feel like we're topicked out. Anything else come to mind that we wanted to bring up? Any last questions here before we go on?
I'm good with arguing. I'm done arguing with you guys, so I'm good.
Josiah, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
It's topical because I just watched the season finale last night.
Okay.
Why don't you like Game of Thrones?
I haven't watched any of the most recent. I watched the first 3 and I've been done since then.
Of House of the Dragon?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you like Game of Thrones?
So it's something I thought I really would get into, especially when the actual title Game of Thrones was on years back. So just having been married, it was probably 2014. I had my buddy Adam Barrow over all the time. Like we would get together on weekends. He was a huge fan from the get-go. I was behind, and I was like, let's do this. I want to watch this. And we would watch numerous episodes every like late Friday or Saturday night, like well into the night, and started binging these. And I was like, okay, all right, I'm getting there. We ended up getting through maybe the first 3 seasons, and I kind of just was done. Like I couldn't. 3 seasons I feel like is a fair shake at it, by the way. But like I could not get myself into caring about the story. We talked about caring about story in video games, and that carried over for me for this. So I couldn't get there. I don't want to be that guy, but like some of the sex stuff and some of the violence kind of just like, I don't know. It didn't
It's
totally
over the top.
I don't want to say I was offended by anything, to each their own, but like for me, I was like, do we need this? It kind of, to me, felt like every week was how can we make this more, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. So it was more violent. It was more like they tried to be water cooler talk for all the wrong reasons. And I know that's just my perspective on it because a lot of people really like the show, but it just never resonated with me, and I tried to get there, and
I didn't know you watched 3 seasons of it.
Did you watch
so
the Red
interesting.
Wedding? When was the
yeah.
Red Wedding?
So skip to that, which was early season 4.
No, it would be the second last episode. It would be episode 9 of season 4.
Season 4.
So-
Did you watch that or no?
We did skip to that, which because I was at my
That's intense.
Yeah.
I was at my wit's end. Like I'm end of season 3, and I'm like, oh, everyone's telling me Red Wedding's around the corner. I'm like,
If you don't like that though, you're not gonna like Red Wedding.
I don't care. So I was like, let's just do one more episode, and that was it. And I was like, dude, I'm done.
If you weren't invested in the characters by then you weren't going to care about it. That's bizarre to me. For you to not resonate with that story, or for that story not to resonate with you, the violence and the over-the-top stuff, I get. Those are complaints that a lot of people have, and I think those are totally valid because they are like, some of that stuff's a little too much at times. But I think that like the final season is what it is. It ended terribly. Like, there's no argument there. But the build up and the ride to get there, I thought was some of the best character writing I've ever seen, and some of the like best week to week television I've ever seen. And the fact that they recaptured that and they got me back for House of the Dragon, it's so good.
I'm really excited for it. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
It's so I never thought in a million years that they'd be able to pull me back in after the disaster of a finale of that show.
I thought that as well from a general fan perspective.
For sure.
I felt like, so like this is silly, but when that last season of Game of Thrones hit, I was a little bit like...
You wanted to be part of it.
No, I was like,
Really?
No, you were the curmudgeon. You were
Oh, when we found out how
Like,
it was.
I'm stoked that you're back into it.
Right.
I couldn't care less. Go for it. I would like you to enjoy that. But I was a little tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, it sucks now. How about that? You wasted all this time watching it. Like, just, I kind of kept quiet about it online, but, like, I don't know. It just was not for me.
It was real bad.
I tried to get my wife to watch House of the Dragon, and there's a part where, like, it's not going to spoil anything, but they're in, like, the jousting.
Yeah.
And the guy hits in, the guy, like, smashes in his skull.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm done.
Interesting.
And I was like, thank God, because the next scene, I'm like, you would have, like, lost your mind.
Was it the... Okay, yeah.
I don't want to spoil it, but I was
I know
like,
what the next scene was.
Holy...
I feel like
There's another one of those scenes in the finale.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I, like, wanted to shut it off. I was like, I don't know if I can handle this.
I know that they're, like, from what I've read, like, the showrunners are kind of like, we want it to feel uncomfortable. Like, frig do you want? No, just cut the shit. Like, it's just not for me. The thing, too, I would say is, like, maybe I could get there or look past some of that stuff if I cared about the story. But, again, minority, I admit that. I didn't think it was well written at all.
Huh.
Like, people find that shocking.
Yeah,
I don't find it well written.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first,
Yeah.
it's first series, I'll call it.
And the showrunners, too. Like,
Even the ending, I didn't hate the ending. Like, it is what it is.
When that final season hits for Game of Thrones, like, that's when they lose that Star Wars trilogy that they had going on.
Well, there was plenty of stuff going on in the Star Wars world too.
There was.
So for them to cancel projects, so
There was, in anything that was less than a sure bet was going to get canceled, and
For
they
sure.
were far from it after that last season,
oh yeah,
unfortunately.
which is ironic because that's for all intents and purposes that's the reason that they wrapped up Game of Thrones so quickly is to get to that Star Wars
and
trilogy.
that's why they got that Star Wars.
Right, the success of Game of Thrones is why they got that. They pushed to get Game of Thrones done way before it needed to be done. They crammed so much into the final season. They took so many shortcuts to get to the end, and it just ended up in a spot where nobody cared about. Like, it just was not good.
Yeah.
And they lost the Star Wars project because of it. Crazy.
And, like, what's funny is, like, I joked about almost being, like, happy. I'm not happy that it was not good, but I, on the flip side, feel like, no, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because my friends who like Game of Thrones, that's a shitty payoff.
Yeah.
That should have been really good. That should have been worth all of that time you invested, all that water cooler talk, for this being the premiere show on a network for years. And to get there and have that fall flat sucks.
It's unprecedented. Like, it is like one of the biggest flops. I mean, like, actually, maybe it's not unprecedented. I feel like that does happen quite a bit where, like...
It's like no one likes the ending of stuff.
I think this
it can
one
happen.
seemed more like so.
It was the biggest example, I think.
Season, if I recall correctly, I mean, you run through the seasons, and it's not like you had to wait 5 years between season 8 and season 9, right? Like, these were kind of back to back to back to back.
They were usually within a year, but the last season was like almost a 2-year break.
So it's not like we went from Star Wars: Return of the Jedi to the Phantom Menace
Sure,
in a matter of
course.
3 years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like we had almost 20 years between those projects,
Right.
So I get it. A lot of stuff changes in that time frame. This was mostly the same people, and was like, what happened? Did you forget?
No, they rushed it.
Yes.
They rushed it.
Yes.
They took shortcuts and they rushed it.
But you're saying House of the Dragon has sucked you back in. Like, what about it is recapturing that for you? Like, what's making you feel like, hey, I'm back?
They're just aware of what made Game of Thrones Game of Thrones. It is that same pace. Like, it's the character writing. It is the relationships and the motives and the way they write that stuff, and like in the performances. I think more so in House of the Dragon than in Game of Thrones, the performances are really what's selling it for me. Like, some of the best acting I've seen in this, some of the best acting I've ever seen in a television show has taken place in season 1 of House of the Dragon. Like,
crazy.
Multiple Emmy-worthy performances.
I'm excited to continue it.
Dude, I can't wait till you watch it. It's awesome. It's so good. The finale was like, it was like the perfect season to draw you into this story.
Oh, cool. I'm excited.
Yeah, like, that makes me feel good. I'm happy that you guys you're enjoying that so far from what you've seen.
Yeah, it's just what's the reason I asked and what's weird about it is because, like, there's just so much about the story and about the characters that, like, I could see us having a good conversation about.
Oh,
because like if you were if that clicked for you, like, I think it would really click for you.
Oh, that's what I thought.
There's a world where Josiah is all about Game of Thrones.
There's definitely an alternate universe where that's happening.
Yeah.
For sure.
Speaking of which, that's what I forgot. Ant-Man.
Oh yeah, the trailer.
Let's talk about Quantumania. So we got that trailer today. You nailed it, Spy Kids 3 for sure.
Dude, for sure, the vibe.
So, maybe this is unpopular, and I don't want to get like too far into this before we talk about the trailer, but a lot of Marvel Phase 4 for me has been okay.
Yeah, for sure.
And not over the top, and not like, oh my gosh, we have to talk about this. Like, there's still this excitement that carries over from Infinity War and Endgame and some of the early Disney Plus days where it was just fresh because we had it back with WandaVision and Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier all back to back.
To me, it's the trust that I know that they'll probably get back there again. That's
odds are good, right?
You know,
Yeah.
that's why I'm not to the point where I'm like, oh my God, Marvel's done, they're washed up or whatever. Like,
Sure.
yeah, some of these shows, some of these movies have just been, like you said, they've been good, they've been okay. I've never been really disappointed by any of them, but I haven't really been blown away to the point where phases 1 through 3 were just like this insane build up. I feel like that's coming, and I trust that that's coming, which is why I haven't even come close to giving up yet. I'm still all about it.
There's one movie that, in hindsight, in this Phase 4, and it's not Love and Thunder, has had me like, yeah, I'm okay if I never watch that movie again.
Eternals.
Yeah.
I
enjoyed Eternals.
Me too. I
Yeah.
liked it.
I can always get there, especially if it's something I love. So like Star Wars, right? Like I can find stuff to love in the Phantom Menace, even though some people find that insane. But like, I guess same with the MCU. Like even Eternals, there's stuff I can get to, and I feel like that's we'll get to it MCU reviewed, but it's a bottom 3 movie.
I think my top 2 right now, but it's pretty close. I don't know which would be my number 1. For like Phase 4 is Shang-Chi and
Love Shang-Chi.
Doctor Strange.
No,
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, No Way Home.
That
I honestly-
that's like the pinnacle for me.
Honestly, I loved the Spider-Man just because it's so much nostalgia.
Yeah.
I just love Shang-Chi so much.
Shang-Chi is so good.
It's so
I
good.
love some
the
of the
choreography, the fight scenes, like
awesome.
the story is just. I'm obsessed with like old school, like Japanese, Chinese, like
Yeah, like feudal stuff like
it's just
that.
awesome to me. Like to see like the kung fu and like a lot of stuff like where it originates from. So
I feel like we had shades of what I loved about Black Panther with
Yeah.
that, where it was like, it definitely was new for us in this franchise of the MCU, and even like the soundtrack and the music just was
Such a cultural pull.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great
and
way
like
to
there's
put
just
it,
so
John.
much like comedy mixed in. Like it was just such. I
I
enjoyed
love
it.
Shang-Chi. Like I can't wait till we get to that in MCU review.
I really
loved it.
That's going to be great to
really
talk
loved it.
about.
And I haven't rewatched it. I only seen it the one time.
Yeah, I would like to watch. I watched it like I think again one of the few ones I've watched multiple times. I watched Spider-Man and Shang-Chi 2 times each so far.
Spider-Man. There's not a time I rewatch that and don't cry at some point.
It's so good.
It's unbelievable.
All the Spider-Man movies are so good.
Yeah.
They really are.
All 3. Tom Holland's just a perfect Spider-Man.
He is. What a special thing. But back to today, we got the Ant-Man and the Quantumania trailer. What'd you guys think of it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it looks like fun. I mean, like Paul Rudd is back as Ant-Man, so I'm back in the seat. I don't care. Like it's, I haven't been this excited since the lead up to Thor: Love and Thunder. Like my expectations are just as high as they were for that.
It's so funny you say that because like I thought about that when I was watching this trailer. I'm like, I kind of feel how I felt before Thor: Love and Thunder, and we joke about it in our group text. Like JT like despises that movie to what I think is a crazy level. To
Me
each
too.
their own.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a great movie by a
romantic
long
comedy.
shot, but I think it's mid tier. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm worried that that's where this is going, and I say worried like it's still okay.
I think it'll
You
be
know?
good.
Yeah,
really do. I'm
I don't
hopeful.
think it's gonna go too crazy with that tone. I didn't get that.
This is
vibe
not a
from the
Taika
trailer.
Waititi movie, right? Like
Right.
there should be a little. No offense, there should be a little more substance here and a little more.
Well, no, I mean, like, yeah, you're totally right. Like, I think that the biggest problem with Love and Thunder is they made Thor a caricature of himself. That was a big problem.
I think we'll once Black Panther happens, we'll be like back on the train.
Yeah, that's the end of Phase 4, right? That's the last movie in Phase 4.
Oh, that I don't recall.
I think it is.
I think once we see Black Panther, I feel like Black Panther is going to be that movie that like
I think Black
brings
Panther
it back,
is
you know?
the last thing in Phase 4, and Quantumania is Phase 5. So I think that might be like where we start to see the tides shift, because Phase 4, think about it, there was no big bad, there was no like the one theme was multiverse, but that like there was it wasn't a common threat, there was no team up, there was nothing like that, right? There was just all these seeds being planted, and like again we liked all of this stuff, but the hype for the MCU is the team ups and like the I don't want to say the Easter eggs, but the narrative threads between all these different properties.
So think about this too. So Phase 4, all the movies, but the first phase with Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
We've gotten as much content, hours wise and minutes wise, for Phase 4 as we got for the entire first 3 phases of the MCU.
That's crazy.
that is
That's
crazy.
a lot.
It is.
That is a lot to digest, and when some of it feels filler,
It's a different approach.
it is a different approach because you have weekly episodes of some of these things, and they're not all going to be high points. So I understand that, but some
Unless
of it
it's
has been.
She-Hulk, they're all going to be high points.
I haven't watched that yet.
She-Hulk is consistently good. We talked about that. Check out our show on that, our review. That was very, very good all the way through. I feel slightly more optimistic for Ant-Man than I did in hindsight now, looking at Thor: Love and Thunder, with how that didn't hit as high as it should have.
I'm actually more excited for Quantumania than I am Black Panther.
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
I don't know what it is. It should be just the trailers and like the subject matter and the implications that it has for the bigger MCU.
That's it right there
I'm
for me.
excited for
it feels like this is moving everything forward.
We're getting Kang. We're getting
Yes.
yeah. So that's a big thing for me.
What a cast again, right?
Oh,
a lot of
yeah.
them back from the last Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yep.
I am excited about it. I thought the trailer was pretty solid overall.
Fun. Yeah.
I think this will be fun to look back at when we do MCU reviewed February.
February. I was gonna
Close.
say. Yeah.
Like it's right around
It
the
is
corner.
quick.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah,
gonna
Black-
be
Black
apple
Panther, just
pie
a few
like crazy.
weeks.
What have Christmas movies, all that stuff.
A little bit of ice cream, a little bit of whipped cream on your pumpkin pie. What?
Bada boom, bada bing, done.
Bada bam.
Love it.
But yeah, I'm excited, man.
Yeah, good stuff coming up. We're gonna wrap up first episode ever of the Geekiverse podcast. What a blast! Can't wait to do this again. We're gonna this is a little bit loose. We're gonna try to do this monthly and see how it goes from here. But I appreciate everyone checking us out at youtube.com/thegeekiverse or listening on podcast services around the globe. John, where can people find you on social media? And got a lot of good stuff going on in the Geekiverse right now. What other content can people check out?
We do. You can find me at Disruptoid on every social media platform. But yeah, if you like video games, we talked about that plenty during this episode. We almost said like, yeah, let's not talk about geeky.
We tried.
It's impossible.
Yeah. We spent,
love it.
We spent about a half hour talking about like our video game remakes. We do a podcast just about video games. It's called Busy Sticks. It is a weekly show. Josiah and I sit down. Sometimes Tim. Hopefully he'll be back this week. 'Cause
Yeah.
last week was a lot of fun. But yeah, Busy Sticks is the place to find all that stuff.
Yeah, good stuff for sure. And Tim, you've been active with the streaming audience lately, so where can people find you for that?
I
on
am.
social?
So you can. So coming up here, we have a big game release of the new God of War.
We do.
I am planning on streaming that in the AM on the Geekiverse page on Twitch. So
All right.
that's the goal. So
Love it.
that'll be where you can check me out. I'm gonna try to get the whole playthrough done, and so
You getting the dual sense?
I'm not.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
I have too many. I already have 3.
I mean,
and
I
will never use them.
already regret it, but like I got it anyways.
There's
Yeah.
something about the poll for this one. I don't even love the design, but I know I'm going to get it. It's going to be on show and tell. And be like,
Yeah.
it's so beautiful.
I just buy too many video games to justify buying a controller because I just like.
I do too.
If I want something, I just buy it, and it's like the worst
Dude, I'm the same way.
habit. I'm like, oh
hates
shit,
it.
look, whoop, whoop, whoop,
My wife
done.
hates it.
We're trying to be better, like especially in saving in our household, as we mentioned. And like, I'm struggling
We're
with this. I'm
just-
going to have to justify and
We're
be
just
like,
so weak.
Daisy told on me the other day. I mentioned
Is
on
it
Busy
coming out
Sticks.
only PS5?
God of War is a PS4 game as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, not Steam.
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, eventually, but yeah, not
Yeah, so
not even not
I'll be buying
announced.
it on PS5 then.
Yeah, for sure.
And we'll
So-
wait for you to get it on Steam so we can play it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, if I buy it on my PS5, I will not be buying it on Steam.
Got it. Well, a couple years from
I
now.
won't be. I won't replay it. I won't. I'm not a replaying kind of
You
game kind of
will
guy.
be buying that on Steam.
Unless it's
No,
Metal
you
Gear
will.
Solid, I'm not replaying it.
What's that?
Yeah, you don't know.
If they haven't remade it, I don't know about it.
Yeah, who knows?
Tim, you somehow lost points here in fantasy. You're down to 8.5.
How
What
many games
happened?
we got? How many games we
You
got?
got
going?
net.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Your goaltender. I don't know who it is, but it's 29 to 8.5. So you
Do
got
you guys know that?
Civilian
Okay,
effort.
but
How many people got playing? Oh,
enough.
John's always gonna have the most games played.
is that right?
That is not true.
So you just try to change your lineup there. Did you see that? He's a sketchy guy.
Dangerous swipe.
Puts your fingers over here. So you can find me on social media at I am Josiah. Again, we're always streaming at the Geekiverse. You can check us out live at twitch.tv/the Geekiverse. We're also streaming on YouTube, and you can watch the videos back at youtube.com/the Geekiverse. Exciting stuff. We are going to formally announce we're back this year for Geeks Give Back, which is our annual Christmas/holiday stream. It's going to be December 3rd, which is a Saturday. We picked a Saturday instead of a Sunday. Oh my gosh, it's
Amazing.
so awesome.
Yeah.
We finally did it. Thank you, Tim.
No
I don't got a birthday party.
birthday party.
Thank you, Oliver. It's so great. So good stuff there. We're going to be streaming all day. More details on that very soon. You can check that out on our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search The Geekiverse. Thanks so much for joining us for this first episode of The Geekiverse Podcast. We had a blast. Hope you did too. Can't wait to talk next month when Tim brings back all those desserts.
Desert City.
It's going to be insane. For Baba Yaga, for John, for Tim, I'm Josiah. We'll catch you all soon. Have a happy Halloween.
Adios.
You just outroed me twice. You said Bob Yaga and John.
I did.
I'm two people
Two people.
in 3 bodies.
That was a blast.